We are back. I got a microphone. Can I get a thumbs up if you guys can hear me? Please let me know before I start going on the topics of this evening. Tanner's in the building. I hope he calls in. He said he was going to prank me. Oh, Jonah Ledoux, how are you? I got to stay here. I got something for you, Jonah. Am I saying that right? But can I get a thumbs up if you guys can hear me? We rocking with a new mic. And calls don't start till 9:15, guys. 9:15. Let's see. I'm waiting for a thumbs up. What up, Mo Dasher? Can hear you very well. Awesome. I bought this at Best Buy today because last week we had some audio quality echo issues, and I want to give you guys the best quality that I can. Each week we're going to be improving these lives. I look forward to them. You look forward to them. So if you're new here, and if you're probably not, my name is Pedro Doordash Santiago, and we end our week every Sunday together. I talk about my week. We talk about your week. I give you topics. We do a live call-in show, unedited. I take calls at 9:15. So I'm going to ramble for 15 minutes to go over some things, and then we'll get going. The topics of the night. Let's get over that first. Obviously, everybody's talking about it. Everybody went live tonight. Chad, the gig economist, or gig tuber, whoever he's calling himself, and Hannibal went live. Roy is live. Tanner went live. And you guys know I do it every week. So topics, the protest, good or bad? Do you agree with it? We'll take calls on that. Also, would you want to be an employee or do you want to stay independent contractor? We'll take calls on that. Most of you guys know where I stand on that. I want to stay independent. I don't want to be told what to do. But if you're somebody that does, I really want you to call. If you want to be an employee and want the benefits and stuff and the gas mileage and all that, I want to hear from you. That's the first topic. Second topic, what is your why? Why are you doing gig work? Share that with the community. Third topic is going to be, I got it written down. Oh, gig tubers. Are we bad for YouTube? Do we share too many tips and tricks? Some people think we are. Some people think we're not. I want your opinion on that as well. Okay. I take a lot. These calls, guys, as long as it's a number I can see, because we have some prank issues, I take them live. Keep them to 5 to 10 minutes if we can. I'm going to try to do a better job of moderating that so that I can get as many calls in as possible because I know you guys like to call in. Also, if there's a topic that's not part of that 3 that you want to discuss, bring it. We can talk about it. Different opinions are welcome on this channel all the time. This live stream and this channel is about you guys and the community and what you got going on, good, bad, or indifferent, and what you want to share for the community or questions you want to ask me. I won't hide from anything, and I will take every single call, even if you feel differently than I do about things. That is okay. I want different opinions. I don't want everybody just calling saying, hey, Pedro, I agree with 100% of what you say. It's not what the show's about. It's about you guys. If you feel differently, or if I don't talk about a subject that you'd like to get involved in, we can talk about that as well. So also every week we give 3 shout outs to new up and coming gig tubers that are starting out or don't have a lot of subs yet. And I try to give them a little bit of attention. You guys can check them out. And like I always say, if you like them, watch a couple of videos. If you like them, hit the red button. It doesn't cost you anything to support somebody else that's out here putting their face on YouTube. If you don't like them, you don't like them. Move on. So let's get those things out of the way. Then we're going to talk about the giveaway video, and then we'll get some calls in about 10 minutes. And then I'll check the live chat and see who's in here. So also, happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. So thanks for being here. So the first channel I want to plug is a channel called Nova Dasher, Nova Dasher. And if anybody knows how to put the channel links in the chat, please feel free to do that for these channels. I will, at the end of the stream, I'll put a description in the description box so people can check it. Nova Dasher, up and coming content. And then Jonah Ledoux, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Johnnna, last name Ledous. She is somebody that I see a lot in the comments and in the live stream. And I saw that she had a channel. I didn't know that she did. I checked it out. You go check her out. If you like it, hit the subscribe button. Johnnna, last name Ledous. And then the last one is a gentleman called Tamarius the Driver. Tamarius the Driver. Check out those 3 channels. If anybody knows how to put the links in the actual thing, Brandon, thank you very much if that's what you did. please feel free to then check it out as a community. If you guys want to leave right now and check out the channels, I'm good with that. And then just come back. But those are the 3 channels, and I do 3 new ones every single week to show some love and appreciation to the channels that are up and coming. Because I remember when I was that person, it felt good to get some responses and comments, and it feels like what you're doing is kind of worth something, right? Because it's not easy to do these videos and put your face out there. And those are the channels. So we talked about the topics. We talked about the 3 channels. Let's talk about my week real quick for a couple minutes. I had an okay week. $908 is what I made. I didn't dash as much as I usually do. I like to make 1,000 every week. I was short of that goal, but I don't dash on Sundays. That's a new thing. It's family time, Pedro time. And then I end my week with you guys on this live. I don't dash on Sundays. I'm not, that's something that's new for me, but I'm going to try it out. It's been about a month. I only dashed a little bit yesterday, about 5 hours maybe. And then I only dashed 6 hours on Friday, 3 hours on Thursday, and I only dashed 4 hours on Tuesday. I had a lot of other things going on. So that's why I didn't hit my goal. But the amount of time I spent was really good for the amount of money I made, but I was definitely short of my goal this week, but I wasn't going out today. Today's family day for me. So my week was pretty good. Obviously, Doordash is in the news for a lot of things, whether it's the protest. I get emails from you guys a lot about, hey, talk about this, or this is what's going on in my market. One thing I want to touch on, it seems like markets are so different. I dash in St. Louis, as you guys know, and people are sending me things from Arizona, Chicago, New York, Cali. I got one from Iowa, and like it's the base pays are different, the communication's different. What their screens that the offer screens look different. It's kind of strange. I think it should be the same everywhere, but it's kind of funny as well. But so that was my week in a nutshell. Not a lot going on. Overall, if I had to grade my week, I'd give it a solid B. I didn't hit my goal, but I still made some good money, so I'm not complaining. Okay. And also, we got 7 minutes. So I did a giveaway video a couple days ago. When we hit 10K on this channel, which is going to be pretty soon. That's 10K subs. It's extremely humbling, and I'm honored. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So I hit 1K. I gave away half my earnings for one day to a gentleman named Anthony. And it wound up being $100, and I sent it to him, and it was something just to do. And 10K, what I'm doing is I'm going to give half my earnings for 1 week, which usually for me it's $1,000. If it's more, then it'll be more. But I'm going to I'll be giving away $500. Okay. That's going to be spread out between 5 people. So I did a video. All you have to do is comment on the video. Any comment, that video right now has like 600 comments, and you'll be entered in. And on the live show, after I hit 10K on the Sunday live show, I will announce those winners, and you can tell me how you want to get your money, whether it's Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, put it in the mail, put it on the bird and fly it to you, and you'll get $100. That's me showing you my appreciation for the support you guys have given me and doing something fun for you guys. And I'm really excited. Plus, when we hit 10K, we got merchandise coming out. I'm going to hold off on the designs. My girlfriend's designing some things. They're going to be fantastic. We're going to have, I got 6 minutes. We're going to have a Kobe trash can t-shirt. We're going to have a Bet on You. It'll be like, it's going to be like a B.O.Y. And on the back, it'll say Bet on You. We're going to have a Step Into My Office t-shirt. And we're going to have a Positive Vibes. Those are going to be the 4 shirts. They're going to be high quality. They're going to be good. I'm going to be giving away a lot of shirts, and we're also going to be selling them as well. So I'm super excited about that. Super excited. I'm gonna give out a lot of shirts in the first month or so, guys. So stay tuned for that. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about it. It's going to be good quality t-shirts, not just the cheap stuff. It's going to be good and reasonably priced. I can promise you that. So we got 5 minutes before we take calls. Let's get into the live chat. Let's see who's here. I've seen a lot of familiar faces and names. Let's go up to the top. Double D, Cam, Tin Man, what up? Ryan, what up, brother? Holly, always good to see you. Julie, hello. Girl to life in gig life. How are you? We got Crazy Cajun, Pull My Finger, what up, brother? We got Tanner Markley in the house. I am humbled that Tanner's in the house. Listen, this is no lie. I've said this before. People like Tanner and Doordash Dad and like UDM, those, to me, when I came to YouTube, those are like celebrities, and I would watch their videos and learn things and like see what they did well and what they thought they didn't do well, and like got advice. And So now when I have these guys like texting me or I feel it's kind of surreal. So thanks for being here, Tanner, man. I appreciate it. Kim Sat Money Plans. What up? What up? YouTube's #1 hustler. Mo Dasher, always in here. I love Mo Dasher's a cool guy, man. He's in Missouri as well. His name's Jeremy. Super cool guy. He has a channel as well. I think I plugged him once, but check him out. Rudy Payment Ali. What up? What up, man? Wild Rhino. I know he's got a channel as well. We got 2 donks, 1. I don't know what that means. All right. Thank you. So if you don't have a mod, if you're not modded, let me know. I'll try to give you out some mods tonight. So what that blue wrench is a mod. You could hide people, delete people if they're saying crazy things. You could help with the chat and just keep the chat kind of lively. That's kind of what that is. So Toyota Boys, Pedro, you listen to Donda. Toyota Boys, I did listen to Donda. I love the album. Way better than Drake's. I tried to listen to Drake's. I couldn't get through it. I thought Donda was really good. I thought there was only one song that was a skip. I could talk about sports and music all day. Maybe I'll have to get a second channel, but I did enjoy Donda. I'm a big Kanye West fan. Regardless of what people might think about him personally, I think his music is next level. It's my opinion. Okay, enough about that. We got Samuel in the house. We got UDM went home Friday. Ooh, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Bud Soda, what up? What up? Tin Man, the children. Yeah. I do have $2. Jermaine, what else we got in here? Lauren, what up, Lauren? Chris, Michelle, a lot of familiar names. Thanks for coming back, guys. Pete Danger, what up? What up? What up? All right, so Craig, what up? YM, what up? Always good to see you. Ashley. Sorry, there's a lot in here, guys. I'm just trying to give out some names just to, show my love to you guys. Cynthia, how are you? All right, so hey Pedro, you plugged mine a few weeks ago. Oh, I did. I thought so, Mo Dasher. I thought I did, and I'm trying to do 3 new people every week, so I appreciate it. Red River Dasher, what up? What up? What up? Red River. Where's Red River? Is that Oklahoma and Texas? I think so. Barbara, what up? What up? Donda is trash. Hey, that's your opinion. I get it. It's all good. I liked it. I think music is like where you're at in your life. You can resonate with it. I'm a Kanye West fan. It is what it is. I won't talk about that. Kelvin, thank you. Are you a fan of Washington Wizards? Okay, Josh, good question. We got 1 minute before calls. I like Russell Westbrook. That jersey was gifted to me. I'm a Chicago fan. I'm not a Wizards fan, but I do like Russell Westbrook, like his energy, how he plays, all that stuff. Paid to Drive is in here too, Pedro. Oh, Paid to Drive. Oh, what up? So, Pedro, hope you and the family are well. Paid to Drive, what up, Pete? How are you, my friend? We are doing fantastic, man. Thank you for the family's well. I did a little disc golf today with the family. Rude, the daughter and the girlfriend came with me to kind of walk with us about half the way, and then I took the dogs on a walk, took Ruby on another walk. It's been a great day. All right, so it is almost 9:15. So we take calls at 9:15 every single. Keep it clean if you can, okay? But 3 topics real quick. It's 107 people in here. Wow, humbled. 3 topics. Protest. What do you think about it? And do you want to be an employee? Like, if let's say that protest works and Doordash says, you know what, we're going to pay you $5 in base pay for everything. We're going to give you a $50 gas card every week and 30 cents a mile. But you got to accept 80% of your orders and we're going to schedule you. Would you do that? Or do you want to keep it the way it is? And then we got, what is your why? Why do you do gig work? And are gig tubers bad for the overall gig economy? I know some people that have think it is. So we can talk about those topics. And if there's something else, we can talk about that as well. Don't be afraid to call. I love taking phone calls. We got one right here. We'll take our first call. Let's see how it works with the mic. All right. First caller, you are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Oh my God, I'm so excited you answered my call.
Who do we have tonight?
My name's Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, how are you?
Good. Can I make an announcement?
Is this Tanner? This is Tanner Markley, guys.
I just want to say, guys, if you're listening to this guy, he doesn't like cats. He cannot be trusted. Don't listen to anything he says.
So listen, what Tanner's talking about, because that's Tanner, not Jeffrey. What he's talking about is I have like a love-hate with cats. I'm kind of afraid of them. They jump around. They kind of do their own thing. I'm a dogs person. Tanner loves cats, has a cat that he loves. So I think Tanner, that's where he's coming from, right?
I'm a little offended that you don't like cats.
It's okay. Not everybody has to like cats. Not everybody has to like cats. And cats are not like bunnies. They're not the same. They're not the same. They're different. They're different. Hey, listen, I want to get your opinion. I think I know it, but let's share it with the people. The protest. Right. The protest. Give me a couple minutes. Your opinion on the protest, and if you'd want to be an employee.
All right. So my opinion. Well, obviously, I do not want to be an employee. I'll never work for anyone else again.
Yeah.
That's like my motto in life now.
Yeah.
But I personally have a problem with people who spend too much time complaining, and I feel like you're just protesting outside of someone's house who's giving you opportunity. You should be taking advantage of their opportunity that they're giving you rather than like complaining about it. And I know that's kind of controversial because they are doing some like crappy things behind closed doors and stuff, but it's still an opportunity that you at least have. And I don't know, I feel like I've been telling everyone for the longest time, don't lean on this as like a full source of income. I've been saying this, that's like the whole point of my channel. So it's like, I don't know, you just shouldn't you shouldn't complain about someone who's giving you an opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think, I think there are, for me, I definitely don't want to be an employee. And I'm with you. Like, I'm trying not to ever be like that again. Now, if you are an employee and you work somewhere, that's great. But like, I've done it for so long, I'm trying to do my own thing, right? But for me, I think there are a lot of things we should be protesting, and people do protest, and that are actually like more important to protest. And I think the things that these guys were asking for make sense. I want those things too. I want a gas card. I want maybe benefits, but I don't want to be an employee. And that comes with that. Like, if we want those things and we're asking for that, then like we are going to really be an employee. And that's kind of like defeats the purpose of gig work, in my opinion. So like, I just didn't, I respect people that they got together and organized, and that's not an easy thing to do. Like, you get news cameras there, you're organizing, you're making signs. Like, if that's what you believe in, more power to you. But like, at the end of the day, like for me, I think it's going to hurt more than help. That's just my opinion. And I don't want to, I think we got to go to, there's other things to protest. Like, I'm not surprised. I think it's going to happen again. I'm curious to see what DoorDash's reaction will be, but.
Okay. So check this out though. Did they really come together and put this protest together, or did a California union who wants billions of dollars on turning all these DoorDashers into employees gaslight this whole entire thing, trying to like get these Dashers all riled up, like, oh, give us more money and all that stuff, The problem with California is the whole entire state is run by unions, and there's billions of dollars to get these things going. So like, I've actually been a paid protester before, so I don't even know if this was a legit protest, or if they're just trying to market it because there's billions of dollars on the line. If DoorDash can, or if California can force DoorDash to turn everyone into employees and unionize the whole thing, there's more, that's billions of dollars in their pockets. And the unions are actually out of a lot of money right now because so many people quit their jobs because there's these things called DoorDash and Uber and things where you don't have to actually report to someone, and everyone's doing that. So the unions probably lost about 30% of their money just last year. And I'm not making this up. I actually was just at a business conference with all kinds of executives of big companies, and that was one of the topics that they were talking about, with unions kind of taking over this whole entire thing. And to me, it doesn't even seem like a legit protest. I think the unions paid protesters to show up, to hold signs, to make DoorDash look like they're basically treating people as slaves, and just to basically kind of force the hand of California, because there is this. It's not a coincidence that all of a sudden that judge overrules that the Proposition 22, and then all of a sudden there's people showing up at Tony June's house, right?
Yeah,
it seems a little bit fishy to me.
Yeah, no, I think you bring up a great point. And I worked at the casino as my last career, and they were trying to get the unions in the casino, and everybody that worked in the casino was like, no, don't. And they had the little spies in there, and they, it's very political. And I think unions are on the decrease. They're obviously losing a lot of revenue as every 10 years go by, that's what the numbers say. So I'm not surprised. Unions were a huge part of America when a lot of industries needed them. And I think it's not as needed as much because local states have now legislation and labor laws and things. And unions, we needed them because we didn't have the laws, and now we have them. So I think you bring up a really good point. And, it's hard to say, like, were there paid protesters there? Could be. Were there a few people that started this and then like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. I got nothing else going on. Could be. But either way, like, I don't want to be an employee. Like, it's just not for me. And I try to teach people, hey, it's not always easy, but you can make money out here, but then just be building towards something. Like, be betting on yourself, build towards what's your next move, make something for yourself, get the cash flow in the bank, like put some money to the side for taxes and stuff, but you can make money doing this. And I know you funded your businesses doing this. So at the end of the day, we talk about DoorDash and how shady they are, but if you manipulate it the right way for yourself, it can be a positive thing. That's my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, it's just like take every opportunity and do the best and most you possibly can to educate yourself on how it works. I mean, like, it's the same thing for UFC fighters and stuff. It's not like they can complain all they want, like, oh, we want more money and stuff, but what are you bringing to the table? And if you don't, like, as dashers, we don't bring anything to the table, really. Like, I guess, like, when we're bringing exposure and stuff to DoorDash, that could be a good thing, or in our case, it probably is a bad thing, because we kind of call them out. But all dashers aren't really bringing anything more to the table than just doing the typical delivery. There's no training involved with this. So it's like, I mean, that's how you get paid more.
Yeah.
But it's like, you got to take every opportunity. You don't want to take, like, I don't know, take it with a grain of salt, Do your best that you possibly can. I feel like people, at least who are, like, following our channels, are at least doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And educating themselves to do better as an independent contractor. And that's the most you can possibly do.
I agree, man. I agree. And I think I'll leave you with this. I think it's going to be interesting. I think gig work is going to be very different year to year for the future. And I think 5 years from now, it will be extremely different than it is now. So that's why I think we got to continue to just bet on ourselves and figure out your next move. You know what I mean?
Yep. Try to stay ahead.
Absolutely. Hey, man, Tanner, thanks for calling in, brother. I'm going to take the next call. Have a good night, man.
All right. Catch with the shit.
All right, brother. All right. You are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Hey, Pedro, this is Rudy, man.
Rudy, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing well. What would you like to talk about tonight?
I don't really want to talk about anything. I just want to say what's up. That's it, man.
Hey, you know what? That's a good call, man. I'll take that every day of the week. I hope you and your family are well. Have a good Labor Day, and appreciate the support, my friend.
Likewise, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. You are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have in the line tonight?
Jim.
I'm sorry, was it Jim?
Yes.
Jim, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. What would you like to talk about?
Just DoorDash in general.
Okay. Go right.
So I've been dashing for about a month and a half now.
Okay.
And what I've realized is, even though we call ourselves independent contractors, we rely on the app. So technically, we're not independent contractors.
Do you think we're more of a subcontractor? I've heard that term tossed around.
No, I would consider us more as a mercenary.
Mercenary. Okay, tell me more.
Because if we don't have the app, none of us get paid.
True. So I would also say if we didn't work, there'd be no app. Would you agree with that?
Correct. So to give you an example, like today, I had an order that was a double order. It was for $12, and I learned from your channel how to decline the week order, which was $2. Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
But if I would have accepted that, I would have went 10 miles for $2.
Right.
So we rely on that app. If we don't have that app, we don't work.
Sure. That's true. You're 100% right. So what is let me ask you a question real quick. So It's Jim, right? Okay. So Jim, if you could change one thing about the app tomorrow or about DoorDash in general, what would it be?
I don't think it's changing DoorDash or the app.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's looking at it realistically. Realistically, this is just loose fruit to get when it's available.
Okay.
Because as soon as somebody wanted to pull the tree away, none of us gets paid.
Mm.
And I think that a lot of folks are taking opportunity to make additional funds off of like YouTube channels or streaming, off of showing how to make this as a profitable business when in reality it's not.
Mm.
It's an opportunity to make a couple $100 a month. Once you put money away for taxes, depreciation on your vehicle, wear and tear on assets, your average is only making $9 to $12 an hour.
Mm. So why do you do this work?
Honestly, I did it because I wanted to try it. I have a full-time job. I work on logistics.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to try it. And I've tried it in different markets. I've followed your channel and channels. Like I've taken advice. Like today, I took I always hear you say, don't be afraid of the miles. I took a 24-mile job today. I got $18.
Mm-hmm. For 24 miles?
24 miles, man.
What did it show? Did it show 18 or did it show less and it wound up being more?
It showed 15 and change. It was like 1565. And I was like, I'm going to take it. I said, I always say, everybody, don't be afraid of the miles, don't be afraid of the miles. So I took it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
My point is we can sit here and say that this is a full-time gig, but in reality, it's not. I mean, it's just loose hanging fruit by DoorDash.
Yeah, I think I will say this. Appreciate your insight. I like it. I would push back and challenge one thing you're saying. I think for myself, I do it full time, but I'm building towards something. I have a channel that helps people. I'm gonna have my own little business, and I'm trying to show people how to do that. And I think I fall in the minority of people that are full time in doing it. But there are people that are doing it full time that are taking care of their kids and paying their mortgage and their rent or whatever. So for them, they're getting by, right? And I think as long as you know how to run your business and you're looking at your miles to money, you're not just driving around aimlessly waiting for orders, burning gas. You're putting a little bit away for taxes, and you have a security blanket of if you need a new tire, battery, or struts or rotors or brakes or something like that. And as long as you're doing it that way, this can be a good gig. Now, we can't do this work forever, in my opinion. You're not going to do this for 20 years. 99% of the people won't be able to do that for 20 years and build an entire life doing it. But you can do it for 6 months, a year. Maybe you can do it for 5 years part-time to get to what you want to get to where you want to be and save some money, pay off your car or home quicker, send your kid to school and help them a little bit, buy a boat if you want to, have money for whatever, extracurriculars that you enjoy to where you're not stressing out too much. So I enjoy doing the gig work because of the freedom and flexibility, and it allows me to build towards my dreams. But I do think some people can do it full time as long as you have a plan and you have an exit strategy. I think people can do it full time.
But the regardless of what your plan and your exit strategy is, your average dasher isn't putting away the financial necessary taxes that are going to be due. See, this is different. The employer isn't paying the 50% of the federal income. So your dashers are going to have to put away, depending on your states.
Sure.
And I don't know every 50 states tax code, but your average dasher is going to have to put away between 30 and 45% on top of the additional money if they do total tax or go to an accountant or to H&R Block, you get charged additional money for 1099.
Yeah, no, we definitely.
So all that is factored in.
Yeah, and so we definitely have to put we definitely have to put money to the side, and I think a lot of people aren't doing it, and that's also why I try to preach that, so that somebody that doesn't realize that might catch my channel or hear it through the grapevine, because we have to set ourselves up right. And I think a lot of people that do this are doing it just a little bit. Most dashers will only do it 4 to 10 hours a week. They do it as a side hustle. And, their taxes are going to be very different than somebody like mine, but I'll get a tax professional and get all my credits and whatever else and deductions that I can to maximize it. But you bring up a great point. And I think that's why gig tubers like myself do have a place, and a lot of other ones, because we need to try to educate people that don't understand those type of topics, if you know what I mean. So, hey, I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to let the next one call.
Absolutely, buddy. It's good talking to you, man. You have a good week.
Always, man. Thank you very much.
Take care.
You too. UDM is in the building. I'm not going to take a call for a second because I hope you're doing well, my friend, my brother. I hope you and the family are well. You've been in my thoughts, man. Happy to see you here. He says I'm healing. You need anything and whatever, you let me know. You got my number. UDM in the building. That's what's up, man. I'm so happy to see that. So let's take the next call. You are live with Pedro, Doordash, Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Hi, Pedro. It's Kim from Kim's Size Money Plan. How are you?
Kim, I saw the area code. I was like, this might be Kim. I'm going to have to save the number so I know 100%. But how are you, dear? How are you?
I am good. So I'm going to be quick, but I just want to talk about two things for you.
Absolutely.
So first thing, the protest. I'm here and I do gig work because I don't want to work for anybody else besides myself, and it's worked so well for me that, I don't agree with knocking on someone's door and going to their private residence. I don't think that's the right way to go. But at the same time, I'm here to be an independent contractor and work for myself, and that's what's been working for me as well. I would like to think that my goal as a gig tuber is to help everybody by taking you guys with me every single day. I show you the grind, I show you the real, and hopefully that helps somebody out and motivate people to continue to do what we do on a daily basis. So I think, with me personally, I'm setting out to help others, not harm anybody in anything or any information I give out.
I think you're so right. I think people need to see that you can grind like yourself, do it, make a living, help support a family, and as long as you're doing it the right way, like we can do this and make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think you're proof of that. And you hustle, man. I call you the #1 YouTube hustler. You and Mr. Flex. Like, it's amazing how much effort you put into it, and it's really rather remarkable. And I'm glad you called in to talk about that topic, because I do know that I think there are some gig tubers that sometimes put out content that's super clickbaity, or it's not genuine, and that could be hurtful because it's not real. It's trying to get views. But I think the majority of us, in my opinion, actually are trying to do good things. So.
Yeah, no, I really try to keep my channel positive and motivating, and really give tips on how to be, or how to even make more money, and how to multi-app. And, I truly want people to be successful. So I think as long as intentions are good, it's never harmful if intentions are good and you're putting out good quality, content for people to actually see on a daily basis.
Yeah. I hear you. Very much. Kim, thanks for calling in tonight. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
You got it, Pedro. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye. All right, you are live with Pedro, Doordash, Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
What's going on? This is James, a.k.a. The Gig Lifestyle.
James, a.k.a. Gig Lifestyle. What's up, brother? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good, man, here in beautiful St. Louis, Missouri.
I saw that, and I was like, oh, he keeps calling. I got to get him. So shout out to you, man. How long first off, let me ask you, What zone do you dash in St. Louis?
So myself, I dash in the Melville area.
Okay, so I lived in Melville for a couple of years. I know that area. I don't dash there often. I was there this week once, but I definitely know the area really well. I went to Melville High School. So that's cool, man. That's I like. I always like to meet new St. Louisans dashing. That's awesome, man. What do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, first things first, okay. I'm a full-time dasher.
Okay.
Been a full-time dasher for the last 6 years, and myself, I actually just got done traveling the country, going from state to state to state, dashing, grub hubbing, lifting, whatever. I do about 7 to 10 different apps. So.
Wow, you sound like UDM. UDM's got like all the apps, man. That dude is like amazing with all the apps he's got. Can you give me a couple that you do besides like DoorDash and Uber Eats? Like, are there any that you have that might be super different that we haven't heard of?
Yeah. So myself, I do Curry, Curri. I also do Dispatch, which we do business delivery. I also do Roadie, which do a lot of Lambert lost luggage roadies from
Yeah, I've heard of Roadie. I haven't signed up yet. I really need to because I heard about that. And do you recommend that? Now that we're in the same market, do you recommend that?
Oh yeah, I 100% recommend Roadie because myself, I was actually at the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
I actually became the city gig manager for Roadie.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually, if people in my crew couldn't do roadies, I would actually have to go do them. I was paid like $500 a week from Roadie.
Wow.
Under contract, which was kind of cool. I wasn't an employee, I was still an independent contractor, but I was under contract.
Yeah.
So
wow.
that lasted a good 4 to 6 months, which was awesome.
Mm.
But the one thing I can say is, and this goes back to the last conversation about, in regards to, a full timer versus a part timer.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I know. Okay. If you have a mileage tracker, like Hurdler, for instance, which is what I use.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna have to pay taxes because we put so many miles on our cars. As being a
full time, absolutely we do. Yeah.
As a full time driver, especially me, my whole trip for the last year and a half, I went, I was down in the UDM's market in Miami. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was, Nashville, St. Louis, Dallas. I mean, I was in everybody else's market, you know what I mean, except for, and then I came back to St. Louis, not knowing I was actually going to come back to St. Louis. But I spent 5 months in Las Vegas, conquering their market. Now, their market's a different beast than anything you've ever seen.
Yeah,
because it's a 24/7 operation, especially for food delivery.
Right.
And by the way, the other app that I also do is an app called Spark, which is Spark Walmart delivery. It's a whole lot better paying than your DoorDash.
Yeah, I've heard of Spark. Yeah, I've heard of that.
I did that in Olive Branch, Mississippi during Black Friday, and I made a bundle because I got an SUV, and I can put like 3 55-inch TVs in the back of that thing. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah.
So my stuff, and I've always wanted to connect with you simply because we're both full timers.
Yeah.
And this is the one thing, and I want, and I know there's a lot of people that are listening and stuff like that. Is when you're in a restaurant and you and another dasher or another Grubhub person approaches you and starts to have a conversation. Don't shut them off if you're a part timer or a rookie. Haven't been doing it a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Take people what they do, because people like myself and yourself, we both love to teach people.
Yeah.
Because we're out here trying to get the same bread.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't care. I want to teach you the right way to do this.
Absolutely.
Because if you're taking orders that are less than $1 a mile, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
If you want to know how to make money, you know what I mean? We're professionals at this. We don't do this as a side hobby. You know,
Yeah.
we do this as my girlfriend, when we went to start traveling, I told her to quit her job. I was able to sustain 9 months of traveling the country on gig work.
Mm.
And then I said to her, hey, why don't you get a job? And you know what she started to do? What we do for a living.
Mm. Interesting.
And guess what? She's the happiest she's ever been.
Yeah, and I think that's if you can bring up two really good points I'm going to bring home here. Is you talked about teaching people, and don't be afraid of showing a new person the way a little bit, and I do that all the time. I try to do it all the time. If I see a brand new bag or like a brand new mask or somebody I've never seen before, I'll strike up a conversation if I got a minute. And, I even let them know, hey, check out my channel. I can help you, or, whatever. I'll give them my number. You want to connect, because at the end of the day, I know I'm not going to do this forever. Number one. And number two, I want other people to be successful doing this. I don't want, there's enough orders in my market. There's enough orders. I don't look at it like competition. Like that, there's, we all need to be able to help each other out. And, And you
brought up a good point there too about, enough orders, right? But so when people say their markets are saturated, okay, some markets may be saturated. But this is what I tell people, because as I said, I like to teach people in the whole 9 yards. I met one guy when I was traveling, and he said to me, he goes, yeah, this is my first dash, or this is my first whatever, okay? And I asked the guy one question. I said, did you talk to somebody before you signed up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He goes, nope. I go, you just lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because the one big thing that I do is referrals. Because we may be oversaturated in some markets, but like, for instance, the St. Louis market is not oversaturated. Because if it was oversaturated right now, you pull up that app, I guarantee that Melville will be busy, Webster Groves will be busy.
Absolutely.
And any other area will be busy.
Yeah, no. And I've always said, I never dashed any other place. Okay. But I feel like St. Louis, I don't know how you feel. I'm so lucky. I like my zones. I know I complain about Kobe Bryant trash orders, but at the end of the day, man, I could dash now 99.9% of the time. I never schedule, and there's always enough money out here. And I think, and I feel for the people that might have a market that's oversaturated, but I don't see it, so I can't relate all the way because it's so busy. Right now, it's 9:43. If I needed to go out and make $100, I could do it. I might have to go till 1 a.m, but I could definitely, if I needed to do it, I could do it. And that's what I love about the gig life, is that I can make what I need to make usually, so.
Yeah, I can. I totally understand that, and you're 100% correct. I mean, I do Lyft, and I'm soon actually to be able to get back on Uber. Yay, I can't wait for that in 2 days. Yeah, I'll be able to get back after 6 years.
Wow.
But the big thing is this, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but and this is something you don't know about also, but so if you want to make some side hustle money, you need to get those other apps like the Get Upside app. Okay.
Yes.
Where there's people that I've referred, okay, that I make a couple pennies off of or whatever, but still there's a couple pennies I didn't have.
Absolutely.
Project Lab. You do a couple Lyft rides.
Yeah.
You do a couple DoorDash rides.
Yeah.
Right now, I got $32. Today's Sunday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Monday. I'll put those earnings on there, and then guess what? Now I'm up to $40.
Yeah. It adds up. It begins to add up, and I usually get upside at myself. I've talked about it a little bit, but it definitely adds up, and I think we got to continue to try to teach others how to look at it like a true side hustle, building and working towards something. And I think you made up some great points, man. I'm going to take the next call. I appreciate you calling in, my friend, and hit my email. My email is in the about section of my page. We can connect and exchange numbers since we're in the same market. Cool.
Definitely, man. I would love to do that. You know what I mean? And we can do lunch or something sometime.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Talk to you later, brother.
Thanks a lot, Pedro. Okay.
All right, you are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
It's Marcus.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I said, what's going on? It's Marcus.
Marcus, how are you, my friend?
I'm all right, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well. What do you want to talk about tonight?
Man, well, I just want to kind of, I get through, so protest.
Okay, let's talk about it.
You
Let's
know,
talk about it.
Yeah, the protest, man. I saw the video you made about like people, complaining and like taking a 1-day strike or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that, but I agree with what you said. It's like, okay, one day there's millions of dashers. Okay, say 5,000 people don't do it, blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, okay, that might work for a second. But this one, when they went to Tony's house, I was like, dude, okay, that's what you need to do. That's something that made the news. I get it, but I have to say, I don't feel like that's the way to go about things because, like you said, okay, people can have an issue with the Doordash pay, because I don't do it full time. I do it part time.
Okay.
And I deliver pizzas. Or whatever. I mean, I'm in Ohio, Cleveland area. And, I pretty much just do it before I go to work. I kind of treat it the same way like pizza delivery. I'll do it for a little while, go to work, blah, blah. And I watch like you, Mushy Moo, Nug. I love Nugs.
Yeah,
and,
Nugs is funny, man.
Nugs is hilarious.
Yeah.
And like, I take a lot of your advice, man. I'm not gonna talk too long, but I just agree with you, man. I just, I feel like just get what you can get out of it, and like I say, don't rely too much on it to be like a savior of your life. The one guy was saying, I can't pay my family, I can't pay my rent. I'm like, watch it, like, dude, like, you shouldn't be dependent on it for that. Like, I have 2 children.
Yeah.
I'm married. I'm like, I love making the money, but I'm like, dude, like, if it's got to the point where I can't pay my rent off of this, I'm gonna do something else.
Well, I think you bring up a good point, and just let me interject real quick. So when I felt for the guy, because obviously, I hope he's not lying about that. That's, I want to be sensitive to that. I've been in that situation, like can't pay the bill. I've been there, but at the end of the day, that's not on DoorDash. Like that's other things going on in his life or our lives that led us to that point.
Right.
And that's just my opinion. But like, we can't allow a gig app that should be temporary or just building towards something or extra side money, hustle money, like to like be 100% of our life. Like we can't give the app that much of our passion in life, and we have to be able to like figure it out at some point. And, I would tell him that if I saw him in person, like, hey man, what's really going on here? I think there's a deeper issue. Like if you're getting ready to like not pay your rent and stuff, like something else is going on, because you can still make money on the DoorDash app. Even if the base pays $2.25 or whatever and gas prices are high, you can still make the ends meet. I believe that. And if you can't, then there's literally everybody right now is hiring. Everybody, every restaurant in my market's hiring. Everybody's hiring. People are going to start hiring for the seasonal jobs for Christmas. So like there's enough money to be made out here. So when he said that, I was like, God, that's crazy to me. Like I just didn't get it. But obviously, maybe his situation is different than mine. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I kind of said when I watched the video, because the one thing about your channel that I love so much, you're very honest. And like you said, I've read stories of people like the guy at Tampa with the couch school, blah, blah. I don't believe he's sitting there live like I am right now watching your videos. It's like, so there's so many people that do this work that don't receive this advice. But like, you're the only one that I watch that and say, dude, we're delivering food, like calm down. Like I watch other YouTubers and I'm like, dude, like you can't get that upset about it. Like my God, like if Tony ain't paying, then do something else. Like, bro, like you're on here complaining, it's just blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, I work at a spot called Cleveland Pizza. And they'll come in there and they're flipping out. I ordered doggy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, sir, like we're short-handed, so I try to be more lenient to the people when I'm DoorDashing. Like the guys coming in behind me and like, Pedro, I'm telling you, they're throwing in my face. I'm in with bananas. Like, dude, calm down. And like, it's not ready. It's like they run out. I'm like, you know what? People are hungry. This guy's waiting for his food. I can wait 5 minutes. Now, like you said, I'm not gonna stand in 45 minutes. My God, but like you said, man, I just wanted to shout you out, man. Like I said, I'm sitting there with my kids watching my YouTube. I'm like, that'll get through. But I just want to say, man, like, my name is Marcus. I commented before the Sad Can't Help. And it's funny, that's my 6-year-old channel.
Yeah.
But like I say, man, I respect the hell out of you, man, part of my language. But man, you always keep it 100, man. I ain't gonna take up all the time on here. But you take some more calls, man. But just
Marcus, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Enjoy the time with your family. I think you said you had 2 kids, right?
Yeah, 2 little girls, man, 9 and 6.
Are you working tomorrow? Or are you off tomorrow?
I'm actually off my pizza job.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dash. I'm like you. I'm gonna take some time to hang out with my kids or whatever while they got off of school. And like you said, man, I watch like every one of your videos, bro. And I'm like you, man. Just Like, don't get me wrong, you know, I would love to make more money. Sure, $225
Sure.
here in Ohio.
Sure.
You know, it's crap, but like you said, I'm not gonna, you know, break my phone or, you know, fly to California and protest because the base pay is low. Like, that's not that deep for me.
I hear you, Marcus. I hear you. Hey, Marcus, I appreciate you calling. Nice to meet you, my friend. And thanks, man. I'll see you on the next one.
All right, well, take it easy.
Thank you. All right, you are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Hey, what's up, Doordash Jesus? How you doing? It's Gig Cleveland.
What's up, Gig? I thought it might have been you trying to call in. Sorry, man. I appreciate you keep calling back.
No, it's okay. I wanted to call in. Like I said, I've been to radio before. Like sometimes you can call in a few times. It's okay.
Yeah. How you doing? How's your week, man? How you doing?
Hey, doing great, man. Took some time off Saturday. It was nice. I kind of enjoyed myself. Went played just arcade games and stuff. It was a lot of fun. So,
nice. That's what's up. What do you want to talk about tonight? What topic, or do you got a different topic?
You were talking about like the protesters and stuff.
Yeah.
And what other people are saying in the comments is that like what I was reading from the article is a $17 base pay plus hourly rate. They're thinking like W-2 employees, but not only that, the $17 plus stipend for gas. It's like, number one, they're just going to pass. Even if Tony hit his head and did that, they would pass the price on to the consumer, and that means there'd be less orders, or that would be your peak. That's all you could make is $17.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and $17 an hour for me in my market is bad. So if I start making that, like that's basically I'm going to take a huge pay cut. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. So like I said, with that, I can understand you're like mad about it, but at the same time, you got to learn how to be an independent contractor too. Like for example, when I first started, I used to take orders that were like $10, 10 miles.
Yeah, me too.
And after a couple weeks, you kind of learn, and you kind of maneuver your way through. You don't do that. I mean, I'm not knocking them. I understand the frustration, but at the same time, if I wasn't going to make I have to make at least, my gross has to be at least $17 an hour. That's just to pay the bills and everything. That's the minimum. But if I was making less than, I would just make preparations and do something else. You know, I mean, this isn't like something I'm going to do forever.
Right. No, I think you bring up a good point, and that's why, I know some people don't, some people think I like say it too much or it's too cliche, but like when I talk about betting on you, setting goals, doing a one-day time, like I freaking mean it. Like I believe that. I'm so passionate about building towards something else because like I feel passionate about it for myself personally, because I wish I would have been doing this kind of mindset years ago, because I'd be probably in a different spot in my life. Not that where I'm at's bad, but I would just maybe have a little more freedom and flexibility. I wouldn't maybe have to work as much as I do now because I'd set myself up better. And I think we got to start taking a look at ourselves and saying, all right, what can I do to save money, do this, do that, and give myself a better future and not have to bust my hump so much like I did for almost 20 years, working in restaurants and casinos, working 60, 70 hours a week, making a good salary, but like, what's the cost? Like I was depressed. Like it wasn't fun, right? So like we got to be able to do this gig work for a particular amount of time as you're building towards something else for yourself, a passion, an art, whatever, a business. And we can't look at it like DoorDash is here to save the day. Like we have to save our own day. We have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves and just use DoorDash's app, regardless if we think it's great or not, regardless if we, think the base pay should be higher. I do, but it is what it is. And just use it as a stepping stone to get to where you really want to be. And I keep saying bet on you, but like I mean it like 100%. And I think I just trying to get other people to kind of look at it like that, so that they're not stuck with these apps forever.
Well, exactly. And my last point, then I'll let you go. But exactly. The thing is that it's a system that you have to follow. You have to be very organized. And you have to be very disciplined, because it's like this is you're your own boss. Yeah. And if you don't take control of that, you can either work too hard to where you're burnt out, or you work too little to where you're not reaching your goals. But hey, man, I just wanted to say hi. Thanks for everything you do. I'm going to let you go. You have a good day.
Hey, my friend, thank you, man. Have a good day off tomorrow if you're not working or whatever you got going on. Talk to you next time, man.
Same to you, man. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And calls are just coming in. We'll take another one. All right, you are live with Pedro, Doordash, Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Yo, it's Ruben, Underground Living.
Ruben,
on YouTube.
How are you? Ruben, Underground Living?
Doing good, yep. I called in a couple weeks ago.
What?
Finished my first month of door dashing.
So how's it been, man? How you doing?
I'm doing really well. I mean, with talking to other people in my market,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's anyone doing better than me. I'm in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a little town. I got to drive 20 minutes in to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm there all day. But I know other people who tell me they're working as many hours as me, and they're making some of them half as much as me.
Interesting. Well, that's good. So you said you've been doing it a month, right?
Yeah.
So can I ask you a couple questions if you don't mind sharing?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. So what can I ask you? What's your acceptance rate?
I'm a top dasher.
I thought you might be. That's why I wanted to ask. Okay. So what's your percentage? It's obviously over 70, right?
It is. I mean, after the glitch,
Uh-huh.
I think it got down. I was like 80 something. I think I'm down closer to 70 right now. Hopefully they fix that soon.
Okay.
But we only have DoorDash. I mean, there's Uber Eats, but like there's nothing. I've had it on multiple days. Maybe if I had it on all week, I'd get an Uber Eats.
Yeah.
When DoorDash closes. But here, I mean, this is a small town market. Almost every place closes at 10. I couldn't work until 2 a.m. if I wanted to.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Nothing's
there's no
open.
orders.
Yeah. There's no money to be made then.
Really, things don't really start until 10:30. Maybe there's a few coffee runs in the morning, but I don't worry about that. So I usually 10:30 stop around 10 when things stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working long hours. This is temporary for me, though. I've got my own business.
Mm-hmm.
This is sort of like a bridge kind of thing. Instead of getting a loan or something like that to get me through a space, I just decided, well, I could do this.
No, I think you bring up a good point, and you realize you're a business owner, so you already have a work ethic and a mindset, right? So you say, I'm going to do this to get my cash flow, because this is great to do for cash flow, especially if you have a business and you're trying to put some, trying to buy equipment or whatever you're trying to fund for your business. And, it could be good for that. But so Top Dasher, are you a Top Dasher because it's your first month, or do you do it because you want to be able to schedule, or?
First month you get 2 weeks of free Top Dasher, at least in my area.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of snuck up on me because I didn't see the email they sent that it was only 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So after 2 weeks, I wasn't Top Dasher anymore, and I couldn't schedule.
Mm.
And I didn't schedule because the app said, hey, you're Top Dasher this month. So I thought it would last all month.
Yeah.
So I actually was out of commission for about a week. My wife signed up. She was Top Dasher for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And she went out. I went out with her a few times. And she was able to actually hit 200 orders within a couple weeks.
Mm.
And be able to get her Top Dasher status before the switch over at the beginning of the month.
Interesting.
But a lot of people on YouTube, they say, don't worry about Top Dasher, don't worry about acceptance rate. But I think it honestly depends on your rating, because I saw a huge difference.
Interesting.
When I wasn't Top Dasher, because there are a lot of slow times. It's a tiny town. Like I'm talking about like 4 square miles.
Are you under? Is it like under 25,000 people?
Ooh, I don't know.
So it's that small. It's pretty small then. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know how many. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll look it up and I'll let you know while we're talking. But I don't know. I would just warn people, like, when you go on YouTube. Yeah, it's about 20,000.
Okay.
When you go on YouTube and you hear people say, "Don't worry about it," like just find out, right? Like, because every market's different. If you're in a market where you're getting orders on a regular basis, you don't have a lot of downtime, it may not make a difference, and it may not matter.
Yeah.
But if you're in a small town and there's huge lulls in your dashing, Top Dasher actually is I found has been really beneficial to me, because as soon as that Top Dasher status came back, every day this last week I've made I've averaged $200 a day.
Nice. And that's
two with the glitch.
Yeah, 200 is what I do. It was what I try to get every day, and that's about my average.
I'm sure you're not working as many hours, but you've got a different area.
I got a completely different.
Area is tiny like mine.
Yeah, I got a completely different, super dense, very busy, and I can do that some days in 6 or 7 hours. Some days it's 8 or 9. It depends. But like, yeah, I think you bring up a good point, because I think, to be honest, a lot of us bash top dashers and talk about why, don't be a top dasher. You don't need to do it. Acceptance rate doesn't matter. But you got to know your zone. You got to know your market, and you got to be willing to try different things out and then find out what works for you to meet your goals and make your money, and then do that, right? Because for me, top dasher in St. Louis wouldn't make sense, because I probably will be taking a lot of $3-4 orders going 5-6 miles. And there's going to be a lot of hours I'm going to make $15, and there's going to be other hours I'll make my 25 or 30. But for me, there's so many orders, I just got to be patient. Whereas somebody small market, 20,000 people or less, you might need that to stay busy and to get the better offers. And I appreciate you bringing that topic up, because I know a lot of time top dashers are hesitant to call because they're afraid of what people might say. But I appreciate your insight, and I appreciate that.
I mean, like I said, I've talked to other people in this area, and I think they're going on YouTube because they're saying things like, "I'm not taking anything less than $4." I'm like, no, like we're in a 4 mile square area.
Mm-hmm.
Like $4 is not always bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying things like, "Oh, I don't worry about acceptance rate," and I'm just like they're telling me like they're working 12 hours a day and they're making about $100 a day.
That's nuts. Yeah.
And so like, and I realize it's a small town, but you know what? I can do that for a few weeks.
Sure.
Bridge money, a few months even.
Yeah.
If I have to.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to throw out that insight to people, like you said, know your market, figure it out. Don't necessarily just assume because someone on YouTube said it's not important, that's not important, because it really does depend on your market. There's some things are true. Like, I don't accept no tips.
Yeah.
I tested it. Only 5% of people
tip cash
will post tip.
Or post tip, yeah, which isn't a high. That's not high enough percentage.
No. Yeah. And I'm sorry for those people who post it, but I cannot.
You can't. No, no. Sorry, it's just the app doesn't work like that. Yeah.
I don't take anything less than 4. So I have some simple rules.
Yeah.
But, someone's not going to at least give you $2. It's like, really, it's like you're not going to pay me as much as you would pay a waiter.
No, I hear you. I hear you 100%. It was Ruben, right?
Anyway,
it was Ruben, right?
Ruben, yeah.
Ruben.
I do have. So I've got other projects going on. I've got other things. I've got my own business. I've had my own business for 15 years. Last year, we bought an underground, like a 6,000 square foot underground bunker that we're renovating. Honestly, this is just a fun thing. I don't go and listen to other YouTubers. You're my only one on Doordash.
Oh, I'm honored, man. I'm honored.
But I got too many other things.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear you, Ruben. Thanks for the call, man. I definitely learned a little bit tonight. I appreciate that, my friend.
Yep. Later. Bye.
Have a good one. Top Dasher called in. Hey, Tanner, thanks for the $1. Appreciate it, bro. I'm gonna put it towards a new phone because I do need a new phone. All right, let's take this next call. You are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
My name is Corey, Gig Factory. I talked to you a couple weeks ago, I believe.
Cool. What's up, Corey? How are you, man?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. What do you want to talk about tonight?
So maybe a couple things if there is time. So I'm kind of in a smaller, like the one person was talking. I'm in an area of about 40,000 people, and here, like a lot of people on YouTube and Reddit and those places, you know how they talk about like Top Dasher, they're like, oh, you're Top Dasher,
Yeah.
Here it's like if you're not Top Dasher, like you don't get anything. Like it's like he said exactly for me. When I first started, I got Top Dasher for 2 weeks, and I just assumed that it would be that way forever. And I find that like during dinner time and lunchtime, like I make many times 30, 35, 40 an hour. And I do a lot of times better than a lot of people I hear in like California and places like that. And I'm top DoorDasher every month too.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of funny, that a lot of people bash being a top DoorDasher, but here it's kind of required. And I've also dashed in Memphis and Nashville and Chicago and St. Louis too, Chesterfield area and down there by you.
Yeah.
And I love dashing in other places, and I realized that a lot of people don't understand just how different a market can be.
Absolutely.
Like I know down there in St. Louis, like being a top dasher probably wouldn't matter to you at all. It probably wouldn't do anything for you. It'd probably hinder you.
I think it would. Now, I don't think I've ever, when I first started, I might have technically been one and not really even understood what it was. But like, I think now with as much as I do it, knowing my market and the merchants, I think it probably would hinder me. Yeah.
And that's the thing, like you said, knowing your market is it's like 95% of it. Knowing where your high-paying restaurants are, knowing where to be, where to sit, like there's so many times it'll say like a hot spot is one place.
Yeah.
You know that during that hour, if you sit there, like you are not going to get enough orders.
Let me share something with you. I think you're right. You also got to know what merchants are quick and fast and which ones aren't. And the hot spots, I've literally a Sunday, Chick-fil-A's closed on Sunday, and it told me Chick-fil-A was a hot spot. It literally said Chick-fil-A hot spot 1.2 miles away. I was like, that's impossible. They're closed. Like, it can't be a hot spot.
I remember when I was down there in St. Louis, Chipotle was the hot spot, like, consistently.
Yeah.
But the wait time was so outrageous to get in and out of Chipotle. I was like, I don't know how DoorDashers could make any money getting in and out.
Yeah.
And the other thing that a lot of people talk about is the Para app, how they used to use the Para app. And, I'll be one of those people that admits that, like, I tried it. And I didn't get I wasn't surprised by any orders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think like knowing how tipping works and understanding your market and the structure is so important because I feel like you don't need Para. You don't need to know where the hot spots are because you automatically know where they are. And it's like, it's not to toot my own horn, but I feel like a lot of people, maybe they're just new to dashing or maybe they haven't thought about it that much,
Yeah, I think a lot of people are new, and I run into people, I would probably say 4 times a week. It used to be more, it's kind of slowed down, but about 4 times a week, I'll run into somebody that a conversation strikes up, right? And, how long you been dashing? Oh, I've been kind of new. And I always ask them, hey, or if they don't ask me first, I ask them, how long you been dashing? Oh, I've been doing it a couple weeks. And I'll ask them straight up, are you making good money? Do you like it? And if some of them say, oh man, I don't know, I'm kind of struggling on here. I'll say, hey, stop taking the low ball orders. Acceptance rate doesn't matter in St. Louis. Like, be a little patient. Try this zone. What time are you starting? And I'll ask them questions. And I've been able to help people like in person. I'll even give them my card. I have a card that has like the YouTube channel that, hey, check it out. I might be able to help you make an extra $5 or $10 an hour. And people have said that I've done that. And I think some people don't understand. They get scared. They see the acceptance rate goes down. It's in the red and they worry like, ooh, I need to take more. And in St. Louis, you don't need to. Now in Quincy, Illinois, or in a small part of Idaho or Milwaukee or somewhere where it's really small, you might need to take more orders because that's all you can get. And you need the schedule to be able to get on schedule. But in St. Louis, you don't need to know it. You don't need it. You just got to know your market and know, start at about 10:30, go till about 2, maybe take a break, and then, you can start at 4. And if you're willing to put the time in, you can learn that. And my acceptance rate's been down to 0 twice in the last 2.5 months. And right after it hit 0, I got like a stacked order both times for like $15. Now, that's not going to happen in every market, but I understand my market and know it well enough that I don't need to be willing to take something that's really bad.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like in my market, I find that I can keep around 70 to 80% without taking garbage orders, because we definitely get them too. Mm-hmm. We definitely get those 250 McDonald's orders that it's just there's no way, mm-hmm. and we also get those 10-mile orders that are 350, and there's no way you can do that.
No.
So we definitely decline, but At the same time, like when you think about it, if you take your last 100 orders and you're declining like 90 of them, think about the amount of time though that you're sitting around, you know. So you really have to have a good order to make up for it. You know, also.
No, that's very true, because there are times that I might go. Lately, I don't go more than. I got Uber Eats too, so like I don't have a lot of downtime. But I remember before I turned to Uber Eats on, there were times it'd be 20 minutes before I took anything, and I was telling myself, man, should I have taken that $6 order going 4 miles? Because at least I'd be making something.
Sure.
Right. So you got to know, like it can be very tricky, and you got a little bit of gambling in there and trusting yourself and your instincts and time of day and things like that. And you bring up some great points, man. And I like when different people come in perspective, because that's back-to-back top dashers coming from smaller markets. So if you're in a smaller market, guys, I'm talking to the YouTube people watching. If you're in a smaller market, maybe this works for you. Test things out. Don't be afraid to adapt strategies. So.
And the other thing, if there's just a little moment longer to talk about what the future, what DoorDash actually does for me is 100% of my income from DoorDash goes into investment. You know, I literally don't spend any of the DoorDash money on bills or anything like that. You know, I worked in finance before I ever DoorDash, and I put 100% of the income in my stock market. So to have like this much income per year to just invest, you know, DoorDash is like, you know, 10 years ago, you could have never done anything like this. You know what I mean?
You could not. You're right.
It's amazing now. And like we look at like my wife and I, when we could retire, if we could continue to DoorDash over the long term, and it's so many years sooner than what it would be without. You know?
No, I think that's a good point. And I think you're probably in the what I would call my extreme minority of being able to put all that money into something else. But you bring up a good point, because I think there are a lot of us, maybe we can't put 100%, but you know what? Can you put 10% away? Sure. You know, and that can help, right? And
it definitely can.
Oh, it definitely can. And I would challenge people to put away what you can. You got your taxes, and maybe you put a little away for car maintenance, but you got to be willing to put away a little bit, even if it's $50, you know, like, and do something with it for your future. I think you bring up a really good point.
Sure. Yeah, car maintenance is what got me recently, to be honest. That's one big expense. But you know, to explain kind of what we do is we purchase real estate, and so we've already got some properties, and it allows us to basically purchase an extra property or maybe even 2 per year if with DoorDash, you know. So for us, it's kind of a big deal for us, you know. I know, especially with COVID and things like that, for a lot of people, it's kind of all they can do, you know. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Everybody's situation is going to be different, but I would say, I'll leave you with this. You know, you're putting away 100%, right? That's not going to be. That's like less. I'd say 1% of the people doing DoorDash are doing that, right?
Sure.
But I would say, and I would challenge people, put away what you can and think about how you're spending your money. Like, do you need that $5 Starbucks every day? Do you need this? You know, like those things, those kind of purchases tend to add up. And if you can put something and invest it or whatever you want to do with it, that's a big thing that I think a lot of people that do gig work miss. So.
Right. When I worked post-bankruptcy for people, we used to do financial restructure for them. And we basically told them that if they could save 25% of their income, which maybe to some people is kind of a lot, but if you can save 25% of your income, by the time you reach retirement, you're going to have quite a bit more than you think.
Absolutely. You know, it adds up. And if you have a financial advisor that can help you do it the right way, you know, you're talking a lot of money. If you do it, if you start at a decent age. So, Corey, man, thanks for calling, man. Great call. Appreciate you calling in tonight.
Yep. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Have a good one. Some good calls, man. Some good calls. We're still going here. 144 people. You guys are amazing. Brandon, what up? My car's next maintenance is 800. Brandon, I think you talked about getting rid of that car, right? What's good, Pedro? What up? What up? Cipro 33. Go home phone. I see like the chat's going crazy. So you guys, the moderators, thank you for that. I'm gonna keep taking phone calls. I don't know what's going on in there, but let's keep it clean. All right. Welcome to Pedro Doordash Santiago Live. Who do we have on the phone tonight?
Hey, what's up? It's Micah.
Micah, how are you?
Great.
Awesome. What do you want to talk about tonight?
You spoke about the survey.
Yes.
And I've seen a couple other surveys, and I've spoken to other drivers. Asked around, spoken to I've seen anyone in the streets. I'm like, hey, how are you? What got you into it? What are you doing?
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty clear that probably over 90% of all DoorDash drivers drive because of the independent contract thing. They love that. They love working when they want. They would accept and decline or just be top dasher if they want. Set their own schedule. So where are all these people coming from causing all these protests, asking to be employees, asking for wages, asking for and I think that's a topic that we need to really get on it. Like anybody who has any following, anything needs to really bring this up, because I don't think the people that are fighting to get us to be employees are even DoorDash drivers or employees at all.
Interesting. So Tanner earlier said these were maybe people that, he called it a fake protest in some ways.
I don't want to get political, but I'm pretty sure it's political. So I'm pretty sure there's a political group that is just doing this out of their agenda or whatever they want to do or whatever their plan or cause is or how they see the future or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're sending people for a cause.
I would not be surprised by that at all. And I think that it's interesting. And I don't know how, I think it was maybe, from what I saw, I think there was maybe 200 people there at Tony's house. I think it was 200. That's a lot of people. That's not, it's not.
DoorDash drivers. They can't be.
Yeah. I mean, some of them could be Uber or Lyft, or what it could be? It could be like, I am somebody that really feels passionate about this. I'm a DoorDash driver, like as an example, right? And I bring my cousin with me, my wife, my kid, and then I got 4 people with me, but there's only one of us does gig work. You know what I mean? And you get this mob. Somebody in a comment today in one of my videos said, you get this mob mentality, right? And when you see people start going to a place with signs and things and a news camera's there, people want to be on the news. People gravitate towards that kind of negative space and energy because they want to be a part of something, right? And, I've seen it here in St. Louis. We've had protests here and stuff. And you see a small amount of people walking towards someplace, and then people just come out and they just join it, and they don't even know what they're doing, right? And some people actually get paid. Tanner said earlier he was paid to be in a protest. That's crazy to me. The fact that somebody would pay somebody to stand there and pretend.
That's a big thing. It's a job. It's their job. I got involved in it during, the election. I didn't get involved in it, but during the elections and all that with Trump and I went to both sides. I went to all the different rallies on each side to see what was going on, just to get educated. And there was a lot of extremely shady things going on.
Yeah.
You don't hear about in the media, or even on YouTube channels.
Well, I'm not surprised about it. This kind of stuff and this mentality and protests or strike, this isn't anything new. And we should all know that. This has been going on in history for thousands of years, and people have been paid or whatever. Back in the day with voting, when you would vote a local governor or alderman, they would literally, before you had to have an ID or whatever, somebody would go in a booth, vote. They bring him out the back, shave his face, and then he'd vote again as somebody new. This kind of stuff has been happening forever, and there's no. Yeah, they just changed tactics, and now we have phones. So now we find out stuff a lot easier, and it's harder to get away with as much because everybody's got a phone and everybody records, and there's cameras everywhere. And we didn't have that just even 15 years ago. We didn't have phones how we did. So now, it's always been there, but now we just see it more often. But this kind of mentality of the mob mentality and stuff, it's always been there. And I think you bring up an interesting point about the percentages of who's really dashing and how often and where these people coming from. It's interesting.
They have a loud voice. They have somehow all of a sudden all these protests, they have the loudest voice, so that all these newscasters, all of a sudden, every time I turn on, I don't watch the news, but every time I catch a news clip, they're saying, "Oh, gig work, DoorDash," and they're bringing up all these protesters, and things that they're saying, but that's not even the sentiment of over 90% of the people that are actually doing the job.
Right.
So why aren't our voices being heard? Why aren't someone speaking out on the other side saying, wait, no, that's not the truth. That's not what we want. There's changes we do want, but these changes that we got are far from what we want. We want to stay independent contractors by any means.
No, absolutely. And that's why when I saw that, I saw Hannibal and Tanner made some videos and I said, hold up. Let me ramble for 10, 15 minutes, give my piece because I know people might ask for it. And I don't mind, people can agree or disagree. That it's YouTube, you're not going to please everybody. But I thought, I don't want to be an employee ever. Like that's not the big issue here. And like, do I want higher base pay? Yeah. Was I mad when my base pay went from $3 to $225? Absolutely. I made a video complaining for 20 minutes. But you got to be able to, you got to adapt.
Simply because, that just meant my acceptance rate went from 52 to 32.
That's all it means. That's
more crap.
Exactly. And we got to say, you know what? Like, I'm not going to, Tony, we give Tony a hard time as we should, I guess, with some things. But at the end of the day, he's not the main issue. Like, and this is a guy that's disconnected. He's got money now. He used to deliver pizzas. He made this app. He's got money. His priorities are to the shareholders and trying to get this thing sold and grow and go to other countries. He's not worried about the $225 base pay that Pedro's complaining about in St. Louis. That's not even on his radar. So for me to go to his house, like, I'm good. Like, I got other things I'd rather fight for. I'm not going to be doing this forever. And I want people to understand we have to figure out what's our next move. And if your next move is just to rely on Doordash to pay all your bills, I think that's a bad move.
Bad, very bad. I mean, very bad. It should only be a part-time thing. I've had to do it full-time.
Sure.
And, I made it work, but it's actually far more beneficial for me as a part-time. So I make more money doing it part-time, kind of, than I do doing it full-time.
Sure. I get it. And most people do it part-time. 90% of people do it part-time is what they say, right? And I know that I'm in that 10% because I do it full-time, but I'm also like, for me, I know it's extremely rare because I'm doing videos and I'm trying to build a business and like I'm trying to do a lot of other things. So we got to keep challenging each other to understand, like, have your goal, figure it, do this gig work as a stepping stone to like what you really want to be doing and accomplishing. Because if you're looking at it to be 100% your thing and you want to be an employee for Doordash, I think you're looking at it the wrong way.
Very wrong. I mean, but again, I guess technically no. But if you want to do that, just be top dasher and get your money.
Sure. And if you want to be an employee, like literally, like if I needed to get a job tomorrow, I could get a job so easy. Like everybody's hiring. Like I'm always going to be able to take care of my family because like there's so many jobs out here. Like like there's so much opportunities. At least in my market. Like if I needed to go back to managing or whatever, I could do it. If I needed to, for a couple of months, go work at a pizza spot, I could do that too. Like there's so many opportunities. So like, I'm not going to be reliant just on one thing because there's so much. Like, I'm not going to ask Tony for the world. He's not going to give it to us. Make it the best that we can. We can complain here and there. I do it, but we just gotta understand there's got to be your eye on the prize, a bigger picture, and don't allow these companies to take all of our energy.
Exactly. I mean, you can't say it better than you say it.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, my friend. Have a great rest of your Sunday and a great Labor Day tomorrow, man.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Talk to you later. Some great calls tonight. Fantastic. What's going on with the chat? Is Tanner drunk? Did Tanner say he was drunk? Tanner, I thought I was a drunk one. What's going on, man? What's going on? So Gig Life Girl. I like the name. I like that. Mad Dash, Road Trip Cash. What up, brother? I did a video today about maintenance. I'm going to have to check it out. I'll check it out later. Pedro got Biden elected. I have no idea what that means. I love the channel, man. What's up, Wolfman? Thank you. That's why he's growing the beard. I've always had a beard. I've had a beard since I was like 11 years old. So I've always said on Sundays, I take calls as long as the phone's ringing. We're at an hour and 24 minutes. Usually we go about 2. 1 week we went 3. We'll see. But if the phone stops ringing, maybe we got to stop. I don't know. But I know we're going to get some people calling. Don't be afraid to call. Topics: the protest, What'd you think about it? Would you protest? Do you want to be employee or not? Oh, we got a call here. Let's take this one. Good evening. You're with Pedro Doordash Santiago and 132 people on live. Who do we have on the channel tonight?
Yeah, Pedro. My name's Dave from the great state of Michigan.
Dave, what's up out in Michigan? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I just wanted to call in and kind of explain what Doordash is for me.
Okay, absolutely. So you're gonna tell us kind of what your why is, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I am a new dasher. This will be my 4th week going into it, and thank God for your videos and other videos out there helping me learn how to do it.
Awesome.
Okay, I want to say that right away. For me, my goal is that I can't do a regular job. I can't stand 8 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? I will be fired.
I hear you.
I don't qualify for real disability. I just physically can't do it.
Yeah.
So DoorDashing is a great opportunity for me because I can sit in my car and I can do it at my leisure. I live in a small community. I mean, I got under 40,000 people in my whole county. And DoorDash only covers 2 small areas of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I limit myself to one of the towns because most orders are way too small worth to drive, not worth my gas to go there. So I selectively pick which ones I want to do.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can do it. Do I make $100 a day? No. But I understand that because of my area. I selectively pick the jobs I want to do. That way I make a profit to supplement my family's income. Do I have goals? Yes. I like to buy a new refrigerator. This extra income helps us achieve more goals for us. And that's what it means for me.
I love that, man. I love that. I love that let me just say, so you are very specific. I want to buy a new refrigerator. Like that to me is awesome because you understand for you, that's the goal. And you understand I don't need to make or have to make $100 a day to reach my goal. So, and I try to tell people like your why is your why. It's important, right? And know why of why you're doing this is better or worse than anybody else's because it's all about what's important in your life in those times and what you want to purchase or what you want to save or whatever else. And being able to hustle a little bit to get a new refrigerator is fantastic, I think. And that's what's really great about the app.
Yeah, it's not just for me too. I run a Facebook group that is large for my area.
Mm-hmm.
A lot centers in on charity work and giving to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told my wife, even if there's something we don't need, this is a great opportunity to build a little capital to help my community, like feeding the homeless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just a matter of how you put it in your mind what it's for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
So Michigan, you said your area is 40,000. So you're outside of Michigan, I'm imagining, and you only have.
I'm in a little community called Branch County. I live in Coldwater.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, like, there's only 2, like, Coldwater and a little village is included in my area. That's the only place that DoorDash will deliver to. And I don't even go to Quincy because that's a 6-mile drive right off the bat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the community here, there's not a lot of rich people, so a lot of people can't tip a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm trying to make a profit too, and I can't deliver there.
No, I hear you, and it's one. It's tough because some people can't tip, but then I tell like, well, why are they paying all the fees and ordering? Shouldn't they just cook at home? But then it's like, some people like to have a nice meal. It's a special thing, but like we got to make our money. We're not doing charity. We can do charity in other ways. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Awesome.
I just wanted to come on and say that. I want to say thank you for putting your videos out there too. I mean,
you're welcome, man.
A lot of headaches.
Oh, you're welcome. I try to teach, and this isn't rocket science, right? But like at the end of the day, some people that are new like you've been doing it 4 weeks, you might not know some of the things, and hopefully you catch a video and say, oh, okay, hold up, I didn't know that, or I didn't think about that, and maybe you can improve your money a little bit, and that's part of why I'm doing these videos. And appreciate you calling in, and have a great rest of your night and a good Labor Day tomorrow, my friend.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Let's take a few more calls. Don't be afraid to call in. What we got over here? Mo Dasher. What up, man? Somebody said something about Tanner's trying to catch up to Pedro. I don't know what that means. He's got like 3,000 more subs than me, but Tanner's cool. Tanner don't bother me at all. I like Tanner. He's cool. He speaks his mind. Oh, we got another caller here. Let's see. All right. Hello. You are live with Pedro, Doordash, Santiago. What would you like to talk about tonight? And who do we have on the line?
Hey, Pedro. My name is Preston.
Preston, how are you, my friend? How are you, Preston?
Doing well, man. I thank you for your videos. They're very helpful.
You're welcome.
I'm like the last caller. I'm new at this too, about 2.5 weeks into this.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about tonight?
It's been good. What I want to talk about is a lot of the videos, training videos I've been listening to from you guys. You talk about the dollar versus the miles for deliveries.
Yes.
And on my apps, I'm not seeing that information right there readily. I'm missing that or something, and I'm just seeing the amount or something. And
interesting. So tell me, so walk me through when you get an order, exactly what you see on that screen, and let me know. Do you have an Android phone or do you have an iPhone?
I got Android.
You got Android. Okay, so walk me through what it shows you.
Well, I do see on some of the DoorDash, I'll see the dollar amount on there for the sale or for the tip in the sale or what they're paying me. And then I'll see the number of miles down there, like 3.4, whatever.
Okay.
But sometimes I don't see that. It's like it's not there every time. It seems like this. Am I wrong? Is it there every time? I just don't see it, or?
Well, okay. I will say this. I know that some markets their offer screens can be different. I've heard that. Now, for me, every order I get, I see the miles and I see the money every time, and I see the merchant. Those things are 100% for me. I always see miles, money, and merchant. It could be market specific for you. The miles will always look smaller on that screen. So like you'll see the merchant and the dollar amount. Like it might say Little Caesars $8. That's going to appear bigger on your screen. And those miles will usually be like maybe in parentheses, a little bit smaller underneath the amount. But they should be there still. They should. But like I do want to disclaim that some markets, their offer screens have been different. I've heard of that before.
Okay, and then the final piece of that question is that your destination, even though it shows, if you do see miles, you don't know where that destination is, do you?
Well, you should, because you should see a map on your thing. You should see like a blue ping, and that indicates where you are, and then it should say, merchant, like Little Caesars, and there should be like a little business icon, and then it should be a home icon. And that should tell you exactly where the drop off is, and you should be able to zoom in. At least on my phone, I can, and I could zoom in and kind of see the cross streets if I have a second. But on an Android, maybe it's different. I've never used the Android, so if anybody is in the live chat, if you have an Android that can help our friend here, please give some information, because I've never used an Android, so I would hate to misspeak.
Yeah. And the other thing I'm also confounded about is all this scheduling stuff that DoorDash does. Whereas Uber and Lyft, we just go online when it's convenient for us.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Uber is that I never have to schedule. I've never done Lyft, but with DoorDash, I guess, are you able to? You've only been doing it a couple of weeks. Have you been able to just dash now anytime, or do you always have to pre-schedule yourself?
Occasionally, I've been on for dash now, but mostly it seems like it's scheduled.
Well, let me give you a recommendation. Maybe you're doing it already. I don't know, but you can schedule ahead of time, even days ahead. So like tomorrow, let's say you wanted to work at 11 o'clock, 11 to let's say 2. You can schedule that right now to make sure that you get in on that block for DoorDash. And you can also schedule like for Tuesday and Wednesday. I know other people talk about they schedule their whole days in advance so that they get that spot. So maybe that's something you can try.
Yeah, and I'm doing that, and I've done that for this week.
Okay.
And why is it sometimes it's dashed down, sometimes it's scheduled? Is that because of the number of drivers out there or something?
Yeah, I think it's number of drivers, how many orders are there. Like for me, I can always dash now because there's just so many orders and coming through. and maybe my market isn't saturated. There's not enough dashers. But yeah, there's going to be times where you're going to have to schedule, and in other times, maybe let's say your dash ends at 2 and it automatically ends, and then like you go back to the interface to where it gives you the option to dash now. If it's showing you that, it means there's either too many orders and not enough dashers, and it needs more people on the road. But that's something that we can't control at all, for real.
Yeah, okay, that's probably how that is. I just have to just keep working on it until I get it where I'm comfortable with knowing the dollar. Because I know the whole thing is about you got to make a certain amount for it to make it worth your while to drive that distance. So I want a certain amount of an order and a certain least amount of miles. Yeah,
absolutely. I think for me, I recommend $2 a mile. So if you get a $6 order and it's going 3 miles, that's not a bad order. But if it's $6 going 8 miles, I probably don't take that because your profitability is not there. It's going to take you a little bit longer, and I like to do the short ones when I can. But if let's say it's 10 miles because you're not in a dense spot, if it's 10 miles for $12, it's not $2 a mile, but in your market that could be a good order because that's a decent order, right? Maybe you do 2 of those in an hour and you make $24. That's great.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about the $2 a mile. Is that right?
Yeah, $2 a mile. That's what I recommend. That's what I strive for. Sometimes it's a little less, but I average actually a little bit more than that because I do a lot of like $6-7 deliveries going 1 mile. Like I'm really lucky, but I recommend other people to think about that $2 per mile if you can.
Yeah, I do. I like that idea. I mean, that's a good goal, but I haven't gotten there yet. I've gotten close a couple times, but I've been way short a lot too.
Yeah, sure. And you can still, in your market, if it needs to be $1.50 for a while until you can figure out what merchants are, good and what times of the day to start. That's not bad, right? But you really you really don't want to go under $1 because if you're under $1 per mile, you're really not making that much profitability at the end of the week.
No, not at all. You can't make any profit like that at all. So,
no.
Again, Pedro, thank you for all your help. Everybody appreciates that, and especially myself.
You're welcome, my friend. Good luck out there, and keep tabs up with. In a couple weeks, call back if you like, and let us know how you're doing, my friend.
Be glad to.
All right, thank you. Good call. So we got a couple people that have been doing it. One guy 4 weeks. This gentleman was doing it 2.5. A lot of new dashers coming on the platform, guys. People are leaving this work, but then also coming to this work. I think that's going to continue to happen. And that's why I make these videos. And sometimes it seems like, oh, it's the same kind of video. But new people come to YouTube every single day that need tips and tricks. They do. And I know that. All right. We got New York calling. Good evening. You are live with Pedro, Doordash, Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Hey, Pedro, it's Bud Soda.
Bud Soda, what up, man? How are you, man?
All right. I accidentally forgot an item, even though I've had a great night. So I'm driving. I finally got through with customer service on Instacart, which is really hard.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to get her associated with kitty food. I love animals, so.
Yeah. So you were on Instacart and forgot an item, but it took you a while to get with support, is what you're saying.
Yes, probably about 15 minutes to get the answer. It's not the worst. I've had to take an hour once. So if you think DoorDash's customer service sucks, it can be worse.
Yeah, I hear you.
I love the app way better. The interface is so much better than DoorDash's. However, my reason is because I love helping people.
Okay.
That's my why, and that's why I'm going out of my way to do this. I could say, oh, heck with it, they'll just mark it as a missing item, and it'll just be one little thing on my thing. And I go above and beyond. I want to help people.
I think that's admirable, especially if it's something like for a pet, right? Like I have dogs, if I was ordering dog food and they forgot something, that would be kind of a big deal, right?
Oh, yeah. And I saw you did what I do, and if you can kill two birds, one stone, get something for yourself while you're making money, why not?
Yeah. So last night, what Bud Soda's talking about, I did a video. It came out today, but it was filmed yesterday, and I got a $13.50 order for PetSmart, 6 items. I'm like, ooh, this is a good payout. Miles were low. I was like, I can just do this and it'll be my last one. And I had to go to get dog food anyway. And I wasn't going to go to that particular PetSmart, but it wasn't out of the way. So I said, this is perfect. Like 2 birds, 1 stone. Like I'm making money doing something I needed to do anyway. So it was fantastic. I loved it. It was I got lucky. Yeah.
So it's been a pretty down week, pretty dead. Even a busy zone I've been watching, like Watertown Fort Generated, has been grayed out most of the week. And so today I did hit my goals, though. I think this last order, unfortunately, the tip went down. Didn't have a couple special keto items.
Yeah.
I am $40 over my goal, so I made $290 for the day.
Nice. Wow.
13 and a half hours of work.
Wow, that's a good. I mean, that's a long day, but that's a good dollar amount, man.
Well, I got super lucky. Doordash came alive. 1 Taco Bell order with a stack. The other was a beer order. That was $20. Boom. And then another beer order, $10. Boom. Mm-hmm. But to be fair, it's a very small zone. The college kids are just figuring out it's a thing. So there's still plus $5 peak pay, which most of you are like, oh my god. Really?
You said $5 peak pay?
Yes.
Oh, so that explains that $290 a little bit then. All right, I get it. Wow.
So I made $30 in 40 minutes because it was all right on the Potsdam end of the zone, and there's 2 towns called Kent and Potsdam next to each other. I just came from Augsburg, which is further away, and I can kind of loop it as far as Instacart goes, but Doordash came up when Instacart was dead. I got lucky, and I made $30 in 40 minutes just delivering locally, like all within, I wouldn't even say a mile.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love those kind of orders, man. Sometimes it's about luck. And there are times I'll take an order like $6.50 going a couple miles. I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably a hidden tip depending on merchant. But then like they'll stack it another 650.6 miles. I'm like, ooh, I just turned a 650 into 1250 for like no more work. Like it's like an extra 0.6 driving is going to take me like 3 minutes. Like those kind of stacks are like fantastic. I love them.
I get that at the military barracks sometimes. We'll be going through the same exact barrack, and the other guy will tip me tremendously because, Doordash cuts the pay a little bit, and I'll get a +8 for the same merchant I'm at for an order they're already making, and it's like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
But you don't always get that lucky. Those are the great days, You don't get the golden goose like that all the time.
No.
However, I want to talk about something Roy talked about the other day in one of his videos is
sure.
Be nice to your restaurant staff. I had a dasher at one of my quote golden goose places. It's a sushi place, a high-end one. Often stacks with the Subway next door, stacks itself. Payouts are always good.
Yeah.
I've rejected maybe 1 order from there ever. And she was very, very rude to the staff there. And I'll tell you what, say something to that other unprofessional gig worker, if they can call themselves that, and thank staff, they're going to remember you, and they might go out of your way for you.
No, I agree, man. Like Roy made a really good point, and I've talked about it a few times. Like, and I'm coming from, I used to manage restaurants, and it's not easy work sometimes. And all these places are short staffed, and going in there being rude isn't going to help you anyway. So like I one time I did say something to one guy. He was being super rude and he's putting his phone up and yelling. I looked at him and was like, hey man, you got to chill. They're short staffed. Like if you ever want to come back here again, you got to treat these guys a little bit better. He looked at me and he just walked out. So like, we got to be nicer to each other. And I think it what's the old saying? You catch more bees with honey than you do vinegar. There's that old saying. Anyways, flies. Yeah. We got to be able to understand they're just trying to do a job too. And you might run into like rude people at like a McDonald's or something or a Wendy's, but like at the end of the day, if you're going to be rude back, you're just making the situation worse. And it's not really doing anybody any good. We gotta be better dashers and be more respectful and make sure we're doing the right things and our communication is good, because at the end of the day, like the more of us that are rude, it gives the restaurants like that attitude that they have, like, I hate these dashers, they're rude. Well, why do they hate us? Because some of us are rude, and we got to be able to, the ones that are good, like you and I, we have to be nice to them because they're just trying to make a living like us. That's how I look at it.
Like, yeah, in that zone, that busier quote zone, I have 2 Taco Bells in that area. Well, now they split them. There's a Fort Drum zone and a Watertown zone, but it used to be one zone. And the one Taco Bell is really, really rude. You're always waiting. And the other one, like, they're fast. You never wait more than 5 minutes. The drive-thru can be wrapped to the end of their driveway, and you'll still be out of there in under 10 minutes. And you got to profusely thank these people. Just, you don't, I've worked both sides of the counter. Actually, it's a Taco Bell I've worked at one time. That's very nice. But none of the workers there know who I am. All the management had moved on to other jobs. But, like, people don't think about it. You got to think how it is to work the other side of the counter. And I'll tell you what, you're more adaptive to do this work if you've done that work like you have,
Yes.
or Roy has,
Yes.
or myself. I've done retail and food service for over 10 years.
Yeah.
On both ends. So you got to do it. You got to be willing to hustle. And I think it has a natural drive for you to hustle if you took that work seriously.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like.
I agree.
If they're taking a long time and you're mad about it, unassign and move on.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and I've done that. And there's been times I've been places and I'm like, oh, they haven't even acknowledged me. And I'm like, and maybe I will unassign, or maybe I'll just kindly, try to get their attention. But like, I try not to, and I'm not the best at it because I do get frustrated. Like, we're humans. Like I sometimes I get frustrated. I'm like, what's going on here? But like at the end of the day, I try not to give them all my energy because like I got to keep it moving. I got to make money. And if I'm gonna get so frustrated that I'm like being rude to like maybe an 18-year-old hostess at a restaurant, like, come on, like that's crazy to me. Like, and anybody that does that, they gotta get another line of work.
Like, I was watching Roy's live stream just before yours, and like, as far as that protest goes, I think I smell, like Tanner said, I smell a union rat, and some of these people just are completely unreasonable. It's like, you got to know how to make these orders, and like he said, he went to a BK where the previous day they were out protesting, and the next day he's in there, they messed up his order, weren't very polite to him about it. And, like, you really think, you deserve this because of that. You got to be nice. You got to hustle. You got to know what you're doing to make money.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you kind of made your own bed, in my opinion. Like, everyone's market's different. Like, you guys are $2 a mile, minimum $20 an hour. I can't do that. My bottom's $15 an hour, and I do around $1 a mile. Luckily, this rural zone is mostly highway, so I don't suck up all my gas. But like, you gotta know when to flex. You had a couple people earlier say they're top dashers, and oh my God, the hate I see on both YouTube, Facebook, and wherever else.
Yeah.
For top dashers, I've done it. I've thrown it out.
Yeah.
And it's a nice perk to have.
Yeah.
But like, because it's grayed out, say I was in Watertown today, and I did have top dasher. Right now I'm not, but if I did, it's grayed out, I can still click it, still look for Instacart orders, but if a good Doordash order comes, I'm going to go do the Doordash order.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, and I would recommend, like, I think you would as well, you got to have at least one more app. I think it's a game changer for most people. And once you get comfortable working one app, learning your area, understanding how to work it, sign up for another one so you can maximize the offer potential that you get so that you can keep busy. You know what I mean? Like having the Uber Eats on all the time now has definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah, Uber Eats is not a thing up here. In my other zone, it is. grab all of them on basically permanent hold. It's been over 6 months. And Uber Eats, I really need to get out my butt and just, apply for it. But you have to be in a certain spot to do it, or else it's trying to bounce you to Canada for some weird reason.
Yeah.
And as far as like new dashers or new gig workers, if I see them out, I try to, give them some tips, help them out. I point them to guys like you, UDM, Roy, oh my God, Hannibal,
Absolutely. Thank you for that, by the way. You know.
Yeah, no problem. I want these people to be helped because, Roy will tell things you might not want to hear, but you need to hear.
Sure.
You give great advice, and the more people you watch, the more things you see, the more you can apply it out in real life. But there is nothing like experience. But if you have you guys to go by as a good basis, you can make some money. And I'll tell you what, you really did help me. I appreciate that a lot because when I first started, I probably put 10,000 miles on my car. I was taking almost every order. It was bad news.
No, I hear you, man. And that, I didn't know what I was doing the first couple months. I knew how to do the Uber rideshare. I did that first. But when I turned Doordash on, I was like, oh my God, there's so many I can't make money here. And then I started watching like UDM and I was like, okay, hold up. What am I doing wrong here? Right. And then I thought I could do a channel. I want to help people too. And that's what we're doing. And it feels good because like you said earlier, you want to help people. That's your why, and I'm very similar, and I think it's important there's always going to be people coming to gig work new. And when you're first new, you don't know what you're doing. And we got to be able to help each other out because we are people that are betting on ourselves, trying to hustle. We're working class people. None of us are rich here, and we got to be able to help each other and stick together. And I believe that, man. So I appreciate you calling in, man. And I'm glad you hit your goal today. And I hope to talk to you soon, man.
Blessed, Pedro. Take care, brother.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bud Soda out. Bud Soda I see him. I see his name in a lot of other channels. He's a loyal sub like a lot of you guys are. I appreciate it. We got Shrek and Donkey up in here. What up? Lauren, Justin. Pull my finger in the house, still Christian. What up? Alexander, what up, my friend? I went to my local fair with nieces twice this weekend. Seen maybe 30 people from restaurants. They all acknowledged me mostly or head nod or what's up as we passed. That's what's up. See, when you treat people kindly, yesterday, I'll share a story. I ordered some food at the end of my shift. I ordered from King and I. That's a place I go. I hadn't eaten there in a while. I ordered some food and they know me in there. I ordered food. I tipped them, accordingly. And they gave me a free iced coffee, little gestures like that. When you treat people well, it comes back to you. They didn't have to do that, but they did it. And it was very nice. We have to be able to just be kind. Kindness is cheap. It doesn't cost anything, actually. It's not cheap. It's free. To be kind and courteous and to understand in a split second, okay, hold up. I know they're busy. Okay, I've been there before in my other life about this job. Or, okay, I got to take a breath and understand their situation. Maybe can I help them? Can I, maybe I just leave and unassign it. But you can't be rude. We got to be, as gig economy workers, we should know these restaurant people are stretched thin. And there's going to be rude ones that we run into, but don't give them your energy. And the ones that are nice and you can tell they're stressed out, say please, say thank you. Let them know. I've talked about this before. Thank them. Say thank you for putting my order together. I know you're busy. I appreciate it. Thank you. It goes a long way. Okay. So if anybody else wants to call, we'll take a few more calls. We're almost at the 2-hour mark on the show. You guys have been great. We've had some great calls tonight. You guys have been really helpful in the chat from what I've been able to see. I can't read all of it, but you guys have been awesome. Glad I made it home to see this. Yeah, Jason, what up, man? I hope you had a good, did you just come from your other job or were you dashing? We've been going for a couple hours, but we're still live. The topics are, why are you doing gig economy? Are gig tubers bad for YouTube? And the protest. Got a call coming in right now. Good evening. You're live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Hey, this is Joanne Duville.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thanks for calling. What would you like to talk about tonight?
I actually had something happened for the first time with DoorDash, and I'm wondering if anybody else has experienced it.
Okay.
Kind of makes me even a little more leerier with them and apprehensive. I got an email from them that said, your tips have been processed and doubled. And it says, between May 1st and August 23rd, you earned an additional $2 in tips from Walmart orders that, due to an error, they were not processed for payout. We know how critical, timely, and complete earnings are, and that you've experienced a similar delay recently, which I don't know what they're talking about there. It says, we're sorry for the inconvenience caused by these delays, and we are working hard to ensure this doesn't happen again. We remain deeply committed to ensure that you rely on DoorDash platform to help you achieve your goals. As a result, we've not only added that amount to your weekly earnings, but also doubled it, which means you earned an additional $2 to your earnings. You'll see that full amount under the earnings tab on your DoorDasher app. I mean, I'm over 2,000 deliveries, and I don't know, like, how could I have missed money? Like, whatever my payout when I accepted it, I've always gotten that or more. I didn't think I was missing money.
So thank you for sharing this, because I did have one person send me an email this week, and it was a screenshot of that exact same email you just read. And I myself had never seen it either. And they, the email basically was like, what is this? Have you seen it? It looks kind of strange. Never got this before. Is it a scam? And I thought, I don't know. Like, I've never seen it. I've never seen that. So this is my opinion on it. I don't do a lot of Walmarts, but I've done enough. I've probably gone to Walmart 30 times, right, in the last year, right? So I've done enough of those orders. And I know that on Walmart, customers can tip after you drop it off, okay? Because I've gotten 2 times, I've gotten like a $10 tip, like the next week, or like, it came in later and it came as a notification. You got a $10 tip on a past delivery. So maybe what happened was you accepted that Walmart order at face value, whatever the amount was, and the customer tipped that $2 after, but it didn't process quickly enough on the DoorDash end to get it to you that week it should have gotten to you. And DoorDash noticed it and then repaid you, or not repaid you, but, made sure you got that money from the customer. That would be my guess. I could be wrong, but it sounds like that could have happened. And people on the live chat right now are saying that they got the same email. Some are saying they didn't get the email. So it sounds legitimate, like it was some kind of glitch on their end of giving you that customer tip that tipped you after the delivery.
Yeah, and I have had those emails a couple times, like you said, where I have gotten additional tips after. Yeah. And that came listed differently. It showed differently. And I do have the additional $4 in my account. It's listed as other. Yeah. So, I didn't feel like it was a scam. It just makes me think, like we've always said, are they hiding tips? How do we know we're getting the full amount of the tip? Are they keeping some of it? And then to think that that they're doing this, you think, okay, they're doing the right thing by giving me the money I'm missing. Yeah. But I didn't know I was missing it, so then I wonder, am I missing more? Yeah,
no. I think that's a good point, because, okay, thank you for letting me know and being honest. Thank you for giving me an extra couple dollars. That's cool. But, has this happened before and they didn't tell me about it? Some people even think, well, we all know that they hide tips. Like, that's a fact. We know it. Yeah. The president of DoorDash even said, yeah, we hide tips. Some people think they steal tips. That's been a hot button issue the last year and a half. DoorDash got in trouble for that, I think about a year or so ago, or 2 years ago. So it brings up an excellent point about how do we feel really confident that we're getting everything we're due? And it's kind of scary to think about that in a way, don't you think?
Hello? Yeah, I lost you.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. Do you feel kind of like it's scary to think that, like, the unknown, like how many times has this happened before? Will it continue to happen?
Exactly. And you think, okay, you caught it this time, but how many times did you not catch it?
Yeah. And So did you email them back or talk to support, or did you just take it at face value and make sure you got your $4 and that was it?
Yep, exactly. Just
Okay.
took it at face value, and
Yeah.
Because I wasn't concerned it was a scam.
Yeah.
It just made me, like I said, feel uneasy. Like, you know, is there more money that people are missing that they're not catching that?
Yeah, that's a good point, and I think that it's you know, the app glitches. We know that, you know, it's software, it's computers. It's going to be glitches. Things are going to get lost in the matrix of DoorDash, and like, you know, it's hard for us, and we don't really have control. Like literally, we have no control over that kind of stuff with the app. We just don't. We're at the app's beck and call. Like we're at their whim, and it's that's the one thing about doing this kind of work. It's hard because, you know, we need the app and we need it to work properly in order to make money and to feel confident that we're getting paid our fair share and what it says. And, you know, we had that glitch that happened I guess last week or whatever, a few days ago, whatever it was. And some people said they delivered food and never saw the earnings. Some people got the money the next day. Other people are telling me they still haven't gotten paid yet. So that's really scary. And really, there's not much we can do. You know, I don't have an answer for it. It's tough.
Exactly.
It's tough.
We're at their mercy. We really are.
We absolutely are when it comes to stuff like that. So I'm glad that you got that money. I guess it's kind of like if I got that email right now, I would almost look at it like you did, but also I look at it like a bonus. Like, oh, I just made $4. I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? So that's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
It's kind of cool, right? Because I just, you know, I earned it, but like it was a surprise. But hopefully that doesn't happen often, because then I think a lot of red flags are raised.
Right. Exactly.
Thank you for your call. I appreciate you calling and bringing up that topic. It's very interesting. It's something new, and this is the second person that's brought it to me. So it's something to definitely keep an eye out on.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to say thank you. I watch you every day, and you're inspirational, and your tips and everything are just fantastic. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that more than I can tell you. Have a good rest of the night.
You too. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Interesting call, because I also got that email. I got an email from somebody else to send me that same screenshot. So it's crazy. I like Walmart orders on Uber Eats to pay out. Man, Krista, I got 3 stacked Walmart orders for the first time on Uber Eats yesterday. They were each $6 for 2 orders, going like 11 miles. I was like, I thought Uber was supposed to be better, and these were bad. I was like, oh, I don't go to Walmart anyway, but I was like, what's going on with Uber Eats and Walmart? $6 for 11 miles? No way. And more, but I was like, I can't take it. I couldn't take the Uber Eats, man. I can't do it. I cannot do those kind of orders. Just gave the lady her kitty food. She was very thankful. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yesy, I always look for another job when I'm not happy. Yeah. Yeah, Krista, that was bad. It was bad. So let's see if we can't get one more call in, guys. We're at 2 hours and 2 minutes. If somebody else wants to call in, the phone lines are open. I'll put the number for those of you that don't have it right here. If you want to talk about some DoorDash stuff or life or why you do DoorDash or what do you think about the protest, or are gig tubers bad for the gig economy? Are we giving out too many tips and tricks and then DoorDash finds out about them? And, you know, so let's see if we can get one more caller in here. The Uber Eats orders in my area are usually $15, $20. Yeah, I get some really good ones. Don't get me wrong. I get some really good ones. In my area, so I get like $11 going 1 mile. Like I get a couple of those a day. Those are fantastic. All right, we got a caller. Good evening. You're live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
What's up, Pedro? This is Zach.
Zach, how are you?
Good. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. What do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, a couple things. I mean, I could talk to you for hours. I got 100 things.
Let's pick a couple, and then we'll talk about another couple next week.
Yeah, we'll keep it short. Just 2 things about the Android.
Yes.
If you use Android, you can see the address as soon as the order comes in, as long as you use the widget. Okay, so you go to your settings in the DoorDash app, and you turn the widget on. All right, so when an order comes in, you exit out of the app, go to your home screen, and the widget will pop up on the right-hand corner. All right, so you tap the widget, and the widget will show you the address.
So did you hear that gentleman that called in earlier? Is that why you're saying that?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it. But
okay.
I found out, actually, I've watched all your videos, and, whatever. I found out because I didn't know it. I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
I've been delivering for 30 years.
Wow.
But I never knew that you could do that and see the actual address. I know every address in my town, in my zone.
Sure. Oh, yeah, I bet.
So I know who stiffs you, who doesn't.
Yep.
Anyway, that's how you do that. You just, immediately go to your home screen. It'll show you the address.
Good advice, man. I appreciate you sharing that with us because I know there's people that probably don't know that.
Yeah, well, it's helpful. It definitely is.
Absolutely.
From somebody that stepped you before or whatever.
Absolutely.
Another thing, I believed, actually, I'm 100% sure, DoorDash is stealing tips. This same area that I deliver in for 30 years, I'm seeing $5.50, $6.50, $7.50. This is one of the richest areas in Pittsburgh. They're not going to bump it up 50 cents or drop it 50 cents. So it's never a flat rate for the last 2 weeks. So it just doesn't make any sense. I've never seen it. I believe they're stealing, and I think the way they're stealing is they'll give you a little more in base pay, but they'll take away from the tip. That makes any sense.
No, it does, Zach. And I've had people tell me that because, base pay, sometimes it's all over the place. It's $2.25, it's $3.25. I've had base pay $7.50 going 3 miles, and it's like all over the place. So let's say there's a $10 tip. You're saying, okay, they're going to take $5, but then instead of it being a $3 base pay, they'll make it $4. So, they're taking some of the tip, but then making it look like it's still a really great offer, which it can be, but they're doing a disservice to us and the customer if they're doing that.
Absolutely. Here's an example. Last night, I took 2 McDonald's orders, which I stay away from fast food, but I used to deliver for a pizza shop, and these people tipped me $20 every single time. Okay? So last night I took one at 4 o'clock, let's just say 305 Walnut. All right? They gave, the base pay was $3 from the same exact restaurant. I was literally in the parking lot when I took both orders. So the first base pay was $3, and I was tipped $6.50. Okay? They normally would tip me a lot more than that. It was like 6 miles. So the second one turned out to be the same house, $3 base pay, or maybe $4 base pay. I'm sorry, $4 base pay, a higher base pay, but the tip was $4.50. Okay, instead of $6.50. So they basically took $1 from me on that second delivery.
Yep.
And I've been seeing this going on for a long time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. But I definitely believe that they're still tips.
I hear you, man. I hear you, man. And I'll double down on that and say while you're still here, I did have a lady say she tipped me $8, but then the tip only showed $5, and she asked me when I delivered it, "Did you get all the tip? I tried to tip this, and it didn't let me." Or it could have been a user.
I saw your video.
It could have been a user error. It could have been, but it made me think, oh, I've never had somebody say that before. So I think what we need to do, and when we're thinking that some shenanigans are going on, and it's hard. I think it's awkward to ask a customer, "Hey, how much did you tip?" Right? But I'm almost to the point, and some people suggested I do this. I should order 10 orders from DoorDash, right? And have them delivered to me and then maybe my friends and family. Put a $10 tip on every order, and have the customer, like us, me and my friends and family, ask the delivery driver, "Hey, can you tell me what you just got paid?" And see if there's any discrepancy. Because if I put a $10 tip and they show me on the phone, I got paid $9 total, that's evidence right there. I think that's the only way we'd really be able to know, definitively. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, I actually did ask 2 people, and they both, the tip was wrong on both of them. I know the majority of people in this town
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not the type of town where they're going to tip you 50 cents more or 50 cents less. And both of them, actually, the one was $1.50 short, and the other one was $2.50 short.
So that's definitely that could definitely be manipulating the base pay and tips. And if they do that, all they got to do, there's 3 million people that deliver food for DoorDash. 3 million now. 3 million. All they got to do, if they do that 0.1% of the time every day, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month by doing that.
Sure, a quarter at a time.
A quarter at a time. A quarter at a time really begins to add up, and most people aren't going to even think about it.
Right.
So,
well, like I said, I wouldn't think about it.
Yeah.
But because I've been in this area for a long time.
Yeah.
I might have had 7 deliveries in the last 30 years that had $7.50, $6.50.
Yeah.
I've had 7 this week or yesterday.
Mm.
So
it's crazy, man. No, it is tricky, and I think at some point, I don't know a lot about it, but I heard they got in trouble before, they got sued or something, and I'm sure that'll, it's a calculated risk, because let's say they make $1 million or $2 million a year by doing this, but then they get sued every 5 years, they're still making money, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's how they probably look at it, which is crazy, but that's just the reality. So.
Sure, sounds good. Anyway, I love the channel. Like I said, I like what you do. You help people. I try to do the same thing. So
I appreciate you.
Taking the call. And,
I appreciate it, Zach. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, bro.
All right. Interesting. I never know where the calls are going to go, and I like those perspectives of people talking about things in their market and issues and things like that. We got another call already. All right, I'll take it. Good evening. You are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
What's up, Claire? It's Matt from Dayton again.
Matt, what's up, man? How are you?
Chilling, man. Just chilling. Just got back from the bar, doing a little Labor Day celebration.
Man, I wish I could say the same. No, I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at. But so, did you dash today?
I did. Yesterday, I went out. Like I said, I work at W-2 Monday through Friday. I went out 4 hours yesterday, made $100. That was my goal.
Fantastic. That's great.
Like 4.5 hours. Not so bad.
No, not bad at all.
Right. I missed the topic, man. What's the topic tonight?
So, topic tonight. We had some protesters protesting outside of Tony, the CEO of DoorDash's house, saying they want better pay, they want gas mileage, they want this, they want that. Right. So the topic is, do you agree with that, and or do you want to be an employee like they do? Second topic was, what is your why? Why do you do DoorDash? What are you building towards, if you are building towards something? And the third topic was, are gig tubers bad for the gig economy? Are we giving out too many tips and tricks? Are we bad for the economy? Those are the topics.
Ooh, that third one's interesting.
It is interesting.
Let me start at the top. I saw the video the other day you put out about the protest.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% behind you with the second guy with the megaphone talking about he can't make ends meet.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like he's just not hustling enough.
I agree. Absolutely.
You can't expect DoorDash to pay 401k, man. I mean, come on.
No, I agree, man. I think I want to be sensitive to other people and their situations, right? Because I don't know that man. I don't know his situation. Right. But at the end of the day, like, come on, man. We got to figure it out for ourselves. It's not DoorDash's issue if I can't pay my rent. That's how I look at it. If I can't pay my rent, that's my issue. Most of the time, that's going to be my issue.
Right. Yeah, you can't expect an app like DoorDash or Uber Eats or any of that to give a fuck about any of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Shit, I had a point. I lost it.
It's all good, man. What about?
Man, I don't know. Just it might not be in his control either. Maybe his market sucks.
It could be. I mean, he's out in Cali. I don't know all the zones and how it works out there. Cost of living in Cali is going to be higher than St. Louis in most areas, I would imagine. Gas prices are probably $1.50 to $2 more, so their costs are going to be higher in a lot of ways. But at the end of the day, if I got to pay my rent, that just means I'm hustling like more that day just to figure it out. Right. That's how I would look at it. But in this situation, maybe
stay out a couple extra hours.
That's what absolutely. So yesterday you made $100. If you made $100, if you needed to stay out an extra hour because you needed that 100, that's what you got to do.
Right.
So.
Man, I haven't really established the why yet.
Okay.
I just started doing it a few weeks ago. Just trying to hustle, trying to make some extra money on downtime.
Sure. Well, there's your why right there. Make a little money on your downtime. That's a good why, man.
I guess so. But why?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm driving all the time anyway for a local brewery. Here. I'm out on the road all the time anyway. I figure may as well, short days. My route's short. I get done early. Why not go out and get those extra couple hours in,
I mean, if you're going to be out there, you make a few bucks and you put in your gas tank or it's your bar tab, it's whatever it is for you. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to affect your other money and whatever else you got going on. So, that's a good side. That's why it's a good side hustle. You can just make that little extra income,
Oh, yeah. Right on, man. Well, I just want to check in with you, man. You did all right this week?
I did okay, man. I made a little bit. I try to make 1,000 every week. I made 900. So but I didn't work a lot this week. I didn't work as much. I worked, but I worked probably about 8 hours less than normal. So, I still took today off.
How many active did you have, if you don't mind me asking?
You know what? I forgot to look at my active, but it was probably about 30 hours of active time. So
for $1,000, bro,
for 900, yeah, no, I'm not complaining. Trust me, yeah.
Give it to me all day.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining at all. My market's very, very, very good, and I know what times to do it, and when to push it and when to stop. But I like to hit 1,000 because that's just that's my goal. But I wasn't going to work today at all, so
All right, so let me ask you a question. Tomorrow, Labor Day.
Yeah.
Is Doordash giving us fucking peak pay?
So I got an email tonight, like at 7:00, saying it's going to be busy tomorrow. Earn up to extra $3 in peak pay. I haven't looked up the promos yet. I'll do it later, but I do plan on working tomorrow to see what it's like. I've never worked on a Labor Day. I think there will be some money to be made, but I do know some restaurants are going to be closed tomorrow. So I think it's going to be a very interesting day. I still should be able to make about 125 tomorrow. Is going to be my goal, not 200, but we'll see. But I'm definitely going to work. And I did get the email saying there's going to be some peak pays.
All right, so follow up. You ever go out real early? You ever just spring out of bed at 5:00, can't go to bed, can't go back to sleep? You ever just go out there and dash?
I've done it once or twice. I did it once or twice when I was doing Uber rideshare, and I did some airport runs, but it's been a long time. I have not ever done DoorDash that early. No, I don't do DoorDash till a few times. I've done it about 9:00, but I start every day at about 10:30.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man.
All right, Matt. Thanks for the call, man. Have a good rest of the night.
Yeah, no sweat. You too.
Thanks. Good call. All right. Let's there's still people up in here. What's going on? You guys are celebrating his Labor Day with me? I'm humbled. I think Roy came back. What up, Roy? What up? Rideshare Lisa, what up? Nicole, I still see some familiar names. Mo Dasher up in here. Julie still. Bud Soda. Brandon, my dude, what's up? Let's take this call from Illinois. Good evening. You are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight? Oh, I think they hung up. We got another one, though. Ding. Good evening. You are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Hi.
Hello. Who is this?
Hey, this is Tracy.
Tracy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. What would you like to talk about tonight?
Oh, good. I am gonna, I just want to say that I love your channel. It's awesome.
Thank you very much. Are you a dasher? What kind of work do you do?
Well, I am not a dasher yet.
Okay.
I comment on your channel as Tracy Cruises. So I love to take cruises, and I'm going to look at making some extra money.
Nice.
And so I watch your channel for tips and tricks to get me ready to go out there.
Nice. When do you think you'll start?
I'm probably going to start like next week.
Okay, cool.
And I live in Myrtle Beach,
Uh-huh.
and both of my kids go dashing, and they love it. And they love the freedom. And so when I saw your question about, the employee thing and the protest and all this stuff, I know for a fact that they would be like, oh, no way. Because they love the freedom of, just doing it whenever they can on their time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I want to do it too. And the market here is hot because just today my daughter got like $10 tip. Everybody's here in Myrtle Beach, all kinds of tourists.
Yeah.
So I'll also be interested to see how it goes like after Labor Day and after, a lot of our tourists leave.
Yeah.
And I still think it's going to be busy because we got a lot of people here.
Yeah, I think a market like that where there's a lot of tourism could be very different than mine. So I'd be hard to judge it. But I think in that area, you got your tourism, which is going to drive some of that business. But you're going to come into the holiday season, and typically holiday season can be good. I know your weather down there is different than mine. It gets cold here and people want to stay home. So I get really busy during the holidays. But for Myrtle Beach, I think that area, the demographic, the money that you have out there, I can imagine you probably do pretty well.
Right. They seem to, the kids really seem to like make as much as they want to make.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, and they were the ones who told me like watch YouTube videos, and so they have taken your tips, like don't fool with these teeny little or just decline. It's not going to be worth the time. So it's really great.
Yeah.
And so I think the gig tubers, I think it's like awesome because also that can be like another stream of income.
Oh, well, it's definitely another stream of income for me. I'm not going to lie.
Exciting.
I have nothing to hide. It is very exciting. I work hard at it. I do videos every day. I go live every Sunday. It is, I wouldn't say it's like a job because I really enjoy it, but I put a lot of time and effort, editing videos and putting them up and being in the comment section, replying to emails. So I'm getting paid from Google AdSense on YouTube, but I'm earning it. So it's awesome. I feel very proud about that. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah.
It's awesome. And it's so entertaining too. I'm not a dasher yet, but I'm going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, so, yeah, I was going to say what a great, YouTube personality and a great channel that you have.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. And please either call back or continue to comment. Let us know in the community how you're doing. And if there's anything we could help with, if you got questions as they come up, I'm sure somebody would be able to give you some advice. So good luck out there.
Awesome. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
What a lovely lady. That was awesome. All right. So if I get a call and, oh man, this thing's going off like crazy. All right, let's take it. Good evening. You are live with Pedro, Doordash, Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
You have Kristen.
Kristen, how are you?
I'm doing well.
What would you like to talk about tonight?
Well, I'm a new dasher and working all the time. That's all I do. I get up, I feed my cats, I go out, and I'm out all the way until really late, not really late, but 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And I think I'm missing some things, but I've learned a lot. I've only been doing it for 2 weeks. This week I made 650, but I feel like when I hear him saying that he's making 200 a day, I'm missing something because today I only made 100. Yesterday I only made 90. Well, that's because there was a glitch in our computer system, in the app.
Yeah.
The day before that I made 125, which was woot, I made that,
Sure.
But
sure.
I want to make 200. I'm not quite sure what am I doing wrong because I'm out there friggin' ever. Get up. I'm out there all the way for 4 hours, and then I come home and I do, some things around the house, maybe for a couple hours. I go back out, and I do it for another maybe 3-4 hours. I come home and do a couple more things, and then I go back out. I'm out till 10 o'clock at night, and it's kind of scary at night So what I would really like to do is get it done before it gets dark. Because Chicago is not really where you want to be at night.
Ooh,
sneak up
okay.
on you.
You're from Chicago.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, okay. So can I ask you a couple questions and then I will I'll try to give you the best advice I can. Okay. So it sounds like you're out about 10 hours a day. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's like too much because normally I make a lot more than that as a nurse, but I can't do nursing because I need a hip replacement. But for some reason, riding in the car and just getting out and delivering, that's like nothing for me.
Yeah.
No problem.
Well, that's good to hear that. Okay, so you've only been doing it a couple weeks, so you know, and each market, when somebody like myself says $200 a day, you got to take it with a grain of salt because each market will be different. Okay. Right. So it doesn't mean we can do that in every market, but the things that you can control within your market are these. And what I would say is if you've been doing it 2.5 weeks, you're still really new to it. So you have to find out what zones are going to be good in your area and be willing to try maybe this zone for a couple of days. And then if you're not getting what you really want, maybe you try another zone. I don't know how far or how dense your area is. Are you in the city of Chicago?
I literally live 15 minutes outside of Chicago.
Okay, so other people that I know have worked in Chicago, and I've heard results similar to yours. I've also heard.
I'm sure you've heard horror stories too. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh no, I was born in Chicago. I know Chicago very well. Yeah.
Okay, so you know.
Absolutely. So I would recommend if you don't want to be out late. So when you talked earlier, you'll go home for a few hours, and I like for me. I start my day at 10. I start my day at 10:30, and I'll stay out. Okay. I don't go home. I'll stay out from 2 to 4. And sometimes, depending on your market, you can make money even when it's not peak time. And from 2 to 4, a lot of the times I can make $40 in those couple of hours. And it allows me to not have to stay out late. I can end my day a little earlier. So you can maybe start with that so you're not out late. That might help you. But also, what's your acceptance rate right now?
I think it's like 45%.
Okay, so you're not a top dasher. You're not so you right now you're not taking like $2 and $3 orders, right?
No, hell no.
Okay, so I like
because I listened to him. Is that I don't know who am I talking to?
This is Pedro.
Oh, this is you?
Yes.
Oh my God. Because when I first watched your video, my kids are like, "What is wrong with you? That's all you do now." And I'm like, "You don't understand. I'm a nurse. That's what we do. We learn everything that we need to know so that we can progress." Okay.
Yeah.
And the first thing I heard you say was that your dollar to mile ratio.
Yes.
Has you don't want to go. So if it's 10 miles, you better be making $10 or more, correct?
At least $10. If it's 10 miles, you be 20. Right? Yeah, if it's 10 miles, you should be $15 to $20.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Should be $15 to $20. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I've been doing. Is this wrong? Okay, so I'll go from one state. Okay, I live 15. I don't know if you know where Oak Brook is, but
I do. Yes.
Okay. So I live right by there.
Okay.
So I'll get something and it'll say, you got to go to Downers Grove. I'm like, okay, so I go to Downers Grove. It's say $14 or what the trip is, and I go there and I deliver. Usually it's staffed. They do 2 things and I get out there. And then it says, well, you're not in your area. So I'm like, fine. Then I end the dash and then I start another one.
Yeah.
And I start dashing around there because I know Downers Grove is great. Actually, it's better than here. I mean, you go to Hinsdale. You know what I mean? You go all over there. So I think I'm doing the right stuff, but then, it seems like I'm just not making anywhere near to what you're making.
Well, markets are different. I've been doing it a lot longer. I know my merchants. The one other thing I can stress is you have to know what merchants are good to pick up from, which ones are slow, which ones are not slow, or which ones are fast. Right. Because maybe you're selecting orders that look good at face value, but if there's a lot of wait time, if you're waiting a lot, that's not good because time is money, right? But, you talked about going from zone to zone. If you can dash now, that's not a bad idea. I do it often. My zones are very close together. So I might start in what I call Webster Groves, but then a good order takes me to downtown and I know that area, and if there's good merchants there, yeah, I'll end my dash, start a new one, and start making some money out there. But I would say if your acceptance rate's 45, that's not bad. I would say be a little more patient. Maybe those orders that are borderline for you, maybe you start declining a little more. Be patient, and maybe you'll get a better offer. It's worth trying out. But I also, if you can avoid going home and stopping and just giving yourself 6 or 7 hours continually straight, see what you can make then, and then not have to go back out in the middle of the night or late night for your safety. Maybe try a 10:30 to 7:30 or 8 kind of shift and see if that works out for you a little bit better.
Okay, I think I'm going to do that because, like, I couldn't. I mean, basically, I don't even know what I would do. I bought a big flashlight because sometimes you can't see.
Yeah.
You cannot see the darn things on there, and I love how the app shows you. Okay, if you go past where you're at, turn around and come back.
Yeah.
It'll show you the building. This building, the first one on the corner, then the second one, and the third, the fourth. I can count that. And I can get to where I'm going. You know what I mean? But
no, absolutely.
How blind is a bat? No, bats are not blind at night. I'm blind at night.
I would say I would recommend for you in that area, no amount of money or no good offers worth you feeling any kind of unsafe way or whatever. Try to do like a 10:30 to 7 or 8 and then end that dash before it's dark. I think you can still make money. Don't go home. Try it for a week. Stay out between 2 to 4. It might be slow sometimes, but a lot of times in my market, I find there's not a lot of people dashing. So I get some orders that come in and I can make money.
People don't want to go there.
Yeah, I can make money on those non-peak times. And,
right.
So I would try that out. And instead of being out 10 hours, maybe you're out 7 or 8. I think you might make about the same amount of money in less time.
That would be better.
But don't be,
don't. No, the only reason I run home, and I know once you get home, it's hard to get back out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it is.
This comes up, that comes up. So like, I don't know. So far, I've not really had any bad stuff happen, except for a couple times where you go to a place and somebody already picked up your order. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that sucks.
Wait a minute.
Now, if that happens, make sure you get with support. They'll give you half pay.
Right.
Okay, good.
Exactly.
I'm glad you know that. That's good.
Like, you know what? When I was watching your videos, you were doing ones that were like, oh, I say it to myself, or I say it out loud even. Oh, I'll do that all day long.
That I have a lot of little sayings. Yeah, I'm just listen. I'm nonsense. I just talk and ramble to myself, and I just whatever comes in my brain, I say it, and you guys are going to see it. And I hope I can either make you laugh or be like, oh my God, Pedro's so silly. I got to stop watching him. But either way, I entertained in some way, and I'm okay with that. So yeah.
Well, I am, because I feel like I don't know. There's somebody else that knows what I'm going through.
Oh, absolutely, man. Like absolutely. Thanks for the call. And also, I want to leave you with just one more thing. Don't be, when we're trying new strategies and adapting, you got to give it a little bit of time. Okay. Do it for a week or two and see what really sticks, because it's going to take time to learn your market and learn your merchants.
Right.
So don't be discouraged right away. Be patient when you can. Okay.
Okay. I will. And I really appreciate your help.
No problem.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Take care.
What a good call. Chi-Town. I'm from Chirac, Roy. I think you said Chirac. Chicago's real, man. Chicago's like, there's parts of Chicago that are literally, you can't walk around at night. You don't want to. It's bad. But then it's weird because like it'll be the same zip code. You'll go 5 blocks somewhere else and it's $1 million home. Chicago's crazy, man. All right. Another call. Let's see. Let's take it. You are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
Hi, Pedro. This is Phil.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What would you like to talk about tonight?
I want to talk about Doordash because, this is my second week also on Doordash. I talked to you before about when I did my second pay on Doordash, and the app kept glitching and acting crazy.
Yeah.
And it seems that in my market, it seems to have been fixed. So somewhat, but not 100%, you know.
Yeah.
And so they gave me a double order yesterday, and both of the restaurants are right across the street from each other, but it had taken me like 2 miles away from the restaurant and then come back to it in order for me to even be able to pick up the orders.
Mm-hmm.
Because even at the restaurant where I knew exactly where they were at, I couldn't push, the button that says arrive.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do it. So I had to keep going.
Wow.
Follow the map and come right back in the circle to be able to push the button to say, that it was going. That I arrived, that I have arrived, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had to pick up the orders, and then it did the same thing to deliver to the customers.
Yeah.
Where I had to go past the customer's house and come back around again twice before I could, finish it up. So it's been a task for me with this Doordash.
How long have you been doing it?
This is my second week.
Okay, so you're still kind of new at it. I will say that the app definitely has some glitching that happens. It doesn't happen. It happens more often than I think we'd like, but it's not common. So don't be too discouraged by it. And typically, we're going to have some glitches, and make sure you can like kind of make sure you have the latest version downloaded, and you can restart your phone. Those things can kind of help a little bit. But what I also recommend is have another app if you can. That way, let's say DoorDash is glitching, maybe you can turn on Grubhub or Uber Eats, and maybe that's not glitching. You can make money that way. If you're able to get on another platform, I do recommend that as well, because sometimes these platforms are going to glitch, and there's not a lot we can do about it.
Yeah. Well, I finally was able to get accepted with Instacart and Ship, Rosie, and deliver that. And Uber Eats, I was doing Uber Eats before DoorDash, but I will only get an order with Uber Eats maybe twice out of the whole hour.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So, that's a big no. And so I went on, started by watching your channel with the multi-apping and everything. So I started signing up with other apps. So
good.
So now I have Instacart and Ship, Roadie, and Deliver that. Those are the ones in my market that work very well. That DoorDash works, you get a lot of orders with DoorDash in my market, a lot, just constantly. But the problem is, like I said, the glitching, and then once you deliver, then you get this notification saying you're out of your zone or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So now I have to drive all the way back over there, which doesn't make sense for me to have to do that.
Well, let me say this: when you see those kind of orders, unless they're really good, I recommend not taking them. If you see an order and when you look at that address, it's like, oh, okay, that's 6 miles, and it's going to put me in another zone. Don't take it, maybe be patient. I don't know what your acceptance rate is, but we can decide to say, you know what, I don't want to go there. I don't have to go there. Or if you're in a market where you can dash now freely, if you take it into that other zone, you can end your dash and start again, a new dash in that zone. If there's restaurants there, that is an option for some of us if you have the dash now and you don't have to schedule. Also, there's been times where I have been out of my zone numerous times, and it tells me that little yellow banner, you're out of your zone, travel back to get better offers. And I haven't traveled back, and I still get orders for my original zone. So sometimes don't feel like you got to drive all the way back to where you came. Sometimes if there's restaurants over there, they're going to send you orders in that zone.
Oh, okay. Yes, because I get that a lot. Drive back, you have to go back to your zone and some craziness. And then once I get to the area where it's red at, and it'll say dash now.
Yeah.
And then when the map turns gray and says it's not a lot of, it's not busy or whatever that says,
Yeah.
But since you're a top dasher, you can just hit dash now, which doesn't make sense to me either. So
yeah.
It's really, I don't know what this DoorDash, Instacart, and I haven't done ship yet because I just got accepted. But Instacart is okay. Roadie is okay. DoorDash is good. I like DoorDash. Like I said, I get a lot of orders, but it's just all this other stuff that goes along with it.
Just make sure you're not taking the order. If it's $2, $3, $4, decline. And I recommend if you see a $5 order, if it's going a mile or two, that's not necessarily bad. But if you get these $3 and $4 orders, I highly recommend never taking those.
Yeah, like I get an order for like $2.50, and I say, "Oh no way, I'm not touching
Never,
that."
yeah, don't never. You should never touch it. Yeah.
Has my acceptance rate at 87%. Or is it 51? I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. But they just keep telling me I'm a top basher. Like I don't know if that's supposed to really mean something to me or not. I don't pay any attention, But I also want to talk about when you say my why.
Yeah, what's your why?
Well, I'm doing it because of my grandchildren. They had tried to find, they're teenagers. They was trying to find a job for the summer so they can help with getting their school clothes and, things like that. And they couldn't find one. So that's why I signed up myself to do food delivery to help them out to make money. So they go with me. And then what I do is, split the money with them and teach them how to pay for gas and buying their own food if we're out. And then they can get their money so they can buy things that they need. So that was my why for doing
So, and it sounds like you're spending time with your grandkids and you're teaching them about working and budgeting money and the cost of things. That's a fantastic why. Cheers to you for doing that.
Yeah, and what I did was they have this little debit cards you get for kids.
Yeah.
And so what I put their money on, and then I teach them when they ask me like, "Oh, can I get paid today?" No, you get paid whenever they cash out to me. It doesn't work like that. Your world, can I get paid today? No, you have to wait until payday. And so at first they were upset, but now they're beginning to understand it. So that's my why for it.
That's a fantastic why, and that's the first kind of why that I've heard of. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. I think that's really interesting. It's cool. If you don't mind me asking, how old are your grandkids?
They're 14 and 16.
Awesome. So they're at an age where, money's going to be important and they're going to want it and have things, but they can also have the wherewithal to understand the importance of it. And we got to teach our kids or our grandkids money management. It sounds like you're trying to do that. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that.
That's what I'm doing. And then, so they can have money, so they have kids at school with money, buying, different things and going different places. And so therefore they're learning to do that as well. Because, growing up, that's what we had to do. We had to get out and hustle. I'm from Chicago as well. So, Chicago.
Oh yeah. We have to. I mean, I'll share a quick story with you. When I was a kid, I was born in Chicago, raised in Chicago, but then I moved here when I was like 11 or something. And I would, we came to a better neighborhood because I grew up in a rough neighborhood. Chicago's got some really rough areas. And I was like, we moved into like a suburb kind of, right? And I would knock on people's doors and rake leaves, ask them if I could mow their lawn with my lawnmower. I would, when we had a snow day, I would get my shovel. I would make $100 at like 11 years old, shoveling driveways, like that Chicago hustler mentality runs really deep with me for sure. Yeah.
That's right. So that's why I'm used to hustling, and that's what I'm teaching them, so they don't think they get things for free. They're spoiled bread, don't get me wrong, but they still
No, that's fantastic. I appreciate this phone call and sharing that with us. Have a great rest of your night and have a great Labor Day tomorrow. And keep watching and keep trying to grind out there. And don't be afraid to decline the bad orders.
Okay, I sure will. Thank you so much.
All right, talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
A grandma out there with her grandkids hustling, man. That's what's up. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty cool why. And you're teaching the younger generation not to be asking for handouts and you got to work for yours and this and that, and they're helping her and when's payday. It's pretty awesome, I gotta say. All right, we are gonna take one more call. So we got somebody calling right now. Let's take this call. You are live with Pedro Doordash Santiago. Who do we have on the line tonight?
How you doing, Pedro?
Hello, you are live. Who do we have tonight?
It's Tommy. I called you last week.
Tommy, what's up, man? How are you?
Pretty good, buddy.
What would you like to talk about?
A few things. First of all, I actually got an email, I want to say Monday morning when I got up, saying that in our market, they would basically make sure we made $65 this week.
Mm-hmm.
Minus tips, as long as we made 90 deliveries by Friday, between Monday and Friday.
Okay.
And then the glitch hit.
Mm-hmm.
That Monday morning, I believe it was Monday morning, the glitch hit. And all day Monday, when the glitch hit, I literally come home. I did Uber Eats all day because you told me to have 2 apps going.
I recommend it. Yes, I recommend it for sure.
So I did the Uber Eats. I had Doordash on, but it was pretty much useless. I mean, I literally come home, me and my wife were laughing because I'm sitting home eating. And I literally ended my dash, did not have Doordash on at all. And it kept sending me messages telling me I missed the delivery.
Mm-hmm.
I did not accept this delivery in time.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at my wife, we're both laughing. I'm like, I've already ended my dash, closed out the platform. I'm literally not even on Doordash. And they're literally sending me stuff. Telling me I missed this dash.
Yeah, that happened to a lot of people. It happened to me a little bit. I wasn't affected by the glitches much, I don't think, because I worked. I did okay, but I definitely noticed it and heard a lot of craziness going on, just like you're talking about. It's wild.
Yeah, and so even when I went back out after getting home for an hour and a half, I cut it back on and it actually started working a little bit. But then it was still glitching. Like I would accept an order, and then they told me I didn't accept it in time.
Yeah.
It was really irritating me.
Yeah.
So after about being out for another hour, I just cut it off and did nothing but Uber Eats. And about I want to say about 8.5 hours, I paid $180 on Uber Eats.
It's great. What market are you in again? Did you say what's your market?
Douglasville is Douglas County, Georgia.
Georgia. Would you say that's a bigger market or smaller?
Douglasville is kind of big, but I would say it's a bigger market just for the simple fact that where I live, I can drive 10 minutes down the interstate and be in a different zone.
Mm-hmm.
I can drive 10 minutes down my road and be in a different zone.
Mm-hmm.
I can drive 15 minutes the other way on the interstate and be in a different zone.
Wow. So you've got some options because 10 or 15 minute rides, that's nothing. That's pretty close. So you got decent options. Are your zones that you talked about similar as far as money you can make? Do you have a preference in what zone you normally work?
Well, I usually work the zone in my zone because, I mean, like you said, I'm not chasing a big day.
Mm-hmm.
And I can go 10 minutes, make, like, I've tried this. I've experimented with it, like you do. Okay? 9, 10 o'clock at night, I ain't got no peak pay.
Yeah.
But now, like 10 o'clock at night, I drive 10 minutes on the interstate, like 2 or 3 exits, and it's a $3 peak pay. So I said, hey, I'm going to go down there and try this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm down there 15, 20 minutes. I get one order for $6. I go drop it off. I'm literally there for 45 minutes. I get one order for $6.
Mm-hmm.
On $3. I said, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm going back to my zone.
Yeah, I don't chase peak pay. I just don't do it. If I get a peak pay, I just like, all right, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. But I've chased it before, and it's never worked for me.
Yeah, I come back to my zone. I just start making money.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in knowing your zone, your market. You know your merchants. You know what places are fast, which ones are slow. You tend to know the streets a little bit better in that area. You can navigate. Like that's what I recommend. But you got to be willing to take chances and work this zone, work that zone, and find the zone that works for you. That's what works for me. But it's not bad. If you're somewhere where it's 10 or 15 minutes and there's different zones, I mean, at least you got some options, which is good. Some of us don't. I know some people that are so small markets that they got literally 1 or 2 zones and like that's it. And that kind of, if you're only working one app and you only got 1 or 2 zones, you're limited in your options.
Yeah, and like DoorDash and Uber Eats will both take, like yourself, you accept an order, they'll take you into another zone if they're close, like mine and yours is.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, sometimes they'll take me out of my zone. And then you get the little yellow banner saying, you're not in your zone, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I got caught up in going to zone thing because DoorDash or Uber Eats would take me into a different zone to drop something off. And I was like, okay, I was new. I've only been for like 2 or 3 weeks, which I'm still kind of new, but I've learned a lot from you. I've only been doing this for like 3 months now, so I'm still a newbie, I feel like. But it took me into a different zone to deliver this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, instead of it telling me I was out of my zone, even though I was in another zone, it still said I was in my zone.
That's odd.
Instead of telling me I'm out of zone.
That's weird.
Yeah, so even though I was out of my zone, it said I was still in my zone.
Strange.
So it gave me another order from a different zone. I guess they're that close together. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I've had something similar to where, there's always going to be that line of like one zone to the next. And sometimes it's like, every time it's just you're going to eventually fall into it or fall out of it. So you could have been on that borderline kind of deal, and DoorDash will send you all over. Uber's the same way. There's not even zones on Uber. They'll just send you anywhere. But DoorDash, yeah, they'll hop you from zone to zone. And, I don't always recommend it, but I do it sometimes. If the order's good, I'll take it. As long as I know that if that other zone I'm going in, I can still make good money there. Or if the zone is separated by just a few miles, it's not a big deal for me. As long as the payout's right, I'll do those all day long. So, hey, I appreciate the phone call. I think this is going to be the last one of the night. I appreciate you calling again. And are you going to be dashing tomorrow, if you don't mind me asking?
I thought about it, because I was going to originally take it off. And then I was like, you know what? I might dash a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because DoorDash sent an email saying, hey, it's going to be busy tomorrow. I don't understand how it's going to be busy because I think a lot of people's going to be grilling out or out of town, whatever. But some things I wanted to hit on was, like, I talked to a girl tonight. I got off work. I went to Hooters. Me and my wife ate chicken wings.
Okay.
I was talking to this girl. And the waitress, and she was talking about how her and her sister were sharing a car, and they're trying to get back and forth to work, this, that, the other. I was like, have you thought about doing it on the side, on the weekend? Because she originally from North Carolina, and she come to Georgia. I was like, well, you know, you might do it a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours before you come to work, make $40, $50.
Mm-hmm.
Do it on your off days. Yeah, that would be your side money to buy you a new car.
Absolutely.
You know, I was like, and as I was talking to her, I was showing her, you know, I'm making between $900 to $1,100 a week in my market, and she is in my market.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I told her, I said, I'm not trying to hate on nobody or nothing. I'm trying to help people like you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, look, you know, do it on the side with your car that you have. Don't put a lot of miles on it. That will save up enough money to get you a new car. You know, I said, you're working at Hooters. They're walking you around pretty much like you're a prostitute, and they're paying you $3 an hour. I mean, give me a break, really.
Well, I would think the Hooters girls make good money. I don't know. The service industry, like I managed restaurants before. Those guys and gals that wait at tables, a lot of times they can make good money if you're in a good restaurant. But you know, it all depends on how busy the Hooters is and how it's ran and you know all that kind of stuff. I would imagine, but
yeah, it's not a super busy. I mean, I think DoorDash Uber is busier in the restaurant. To be honest. So, but with that being said, you know, I talked to her and everything, and you know, I think I pushed her in the right direction. I gave her good tips. I told her like how you dissect orders. I told her everything I've learned from you.
Well, I'm honored that you would. Yeah, I mean, I'm honored, and I think you know if somebody's looking, you know, this is a good kind of gig if you're looking to get some good cash quickly to do a car repair, buy a car, like. Yeah, instead of sitting at home on your day off watching TV, go out for a few hours, make some money. Like that's the good thing about this app is you can turn it on, make $100 or whatever it is you need to make, and do that a few weeks to stack a little bit of money for you to do what you want to do. And a lot of us spend a lot of time watching TV, watching YouTube, sitting around twiddling our thumbs when you can, if you just hustle for a couple months, you can make that extra money you need, you know?
Yeah, and like I told her, I said, look, you know, this might not be something you want. I mean, she was like 21. I was like, this might not be something that you want to do all the time, but it's something you can always fall back on.
Sure.
It's like, you know, you do it to get you a car. Then you start doing it full time to make some more money put back. You're 21. You might want to go to school. You might want to do this. You might want to start your own business. I told her about this lady. Like you were saying, on DoorDash, like you're 2 steps away from owning your own business on DoorDash for no reason.
Yeah, for sure.
And I literally told her that in a different zone, I drove around for over an hour when I first started. And Google was trying to send me down the subdivision. And I was like, no, Google, I'm not going down there because there's no restaurants there.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, finally, after the 3rd time around, I said, okay, Google, I'm going to listen to you. I went down there. Literally, this woman is operating a DoorDash business out of her house, a hot wing business.
Oh, wow.
And you pull up to her house. She hands you the bags. She got the bags, the Cokes, the Sprites, whatever. You knock on her door. You say you got here for so-and-so. She hands it to you. She's literally operating a hot wing business out of her house.
See, I think that's crazy. And I did a video showing how easy it is to get on the app. I could do the same thing. I think that's strange. But, you know, if she's hustling, I respect the hustle. She's got wings out of her house. But to me, that's so odd because, like, we don't even know, like, what sanitation she uses? Like, there's health code violations. Like, to me, that's, like, crazy. But DoorDash wants every single person to be on the app because they just want everybody's money.
And that's why I brought that up because I saw your video where you said you were like 2 steps from starting a business at DoorDash.
Yeah, and they called me. I probably, within a 2-week span, got 50 phone calls from DoorDash and about 20 emails. And I started this like 2 months ago when I did it, or 7 weeks ago. And I got an email just last week. Don't forget to set up Pedro's Tacos, and you're only a few sign up things away from making money. And I'm like, these people are crazy. Like, and it's not DoorDash. I think they subcontracted out to like sales reps or commission based sales team. But like, I think that's very strange that a big $1 billion company has people running chicken wings out of their home. That seems wild to me.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have this problem, but one quick thing I want to hit on is updates. I updated DoorDash, and like 2 days ago, and as soon as I updated it, then I turned it on, and they kept pausing me all day for no reason. I'm driving down the road. I did an update. I did not have a problem the day before. But I did the DoorDash update, and they just kept pausing me. And I'm like, how am I going to make money if you keep pausing me every 2 minutes? I'm literally driving down the road. I have to keep looking down every minute or two and keep clicking resume all day.
Was it because you were declining a lot of offers? Because I know that's a new thing DoorDash does. You decline so many in a row and they automatically pause you. Was it that, or was it something else?
No, I literally did the update. I got on the road. I'm driving down the road. I look down. I paused. I never got an order. I click resume. A minute or two later, I look down. I paused. I've never got an order. That's crazy. Yeah, it's a glitchy app, man. It's a glitchy app. Like somebody just said in the chat, they want to spend all this time and effort to get Pedro's Tacos and Juanita's chicken wings on the app, but they can't even run an effective app for us as dashers. It's rather ridiculous. It's comical, I think. The fact that I could make tacos in my kitchen and they'd be very tasty, and have a dasher pick them up at my door is ridiculous, to say the least. But yeah. That's what that lady was doing. She was running chicken wing business.
I mean, that's crazy. All right, and, man. I know it's happened. I've seen other people make videos. Like this one guy did a comical video about how he was selling sushi out of his apartment. I don't know. It's just weird that the app works like that. It doesn't make. There's no accountability for like the way food's supposed to be prepared. You're supposed to do it in a certain way, and it's supposed to actually be regulated. And the fact that I could make tacos out of my house and sell them it's crazy. But
she told me what her name was, her name of her business was, so I looked it up on Google and I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
The only way you can get a hold of her is on DoorDash.
Well, right, because she's not an actual. Well, that's harsh. She's not paying Google or whatever to get on the Google. She's not a business. She's just using DoorDash. So that's why. But it's crazy. Tommy, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it. This is a good way to end the live. I think we're at 3 hours. So
I want to give you one thing about. I mean, I don't mean to keep going, but there's one thing I really do want to hit on.
Go ahead.
I literally had an order. Okay, Papa John's. They were paying me $8.50 to go 5 miles. Okay, whatever. I picked it up. I went to 5 miles. The place I was going to, they said, "You have arrived. There's nothing but woods."
Yeah.
There's not a house for a mile and a half. It's nothing but woods. I don't have no signal on my phone. So I literally have to drive 10 minutes up the road to a high school.
Oh, no.
It's called Chapel Hill High School. To call support. Okay? I called support. I said, he said, "Have you contacted the customer?" I said, "I called the customer." "Don't you think that's the first thing I did?" Yeah. So they said, "Okay, please hold." So they keep me on hold for like 10 more minutes. They called the customer. They come back. They're like, "Okay, Tommy, we called the customer. You called the customer. We cannot get in touch with them." Okay. They said, "Well, you need to complete this delivery." I'm looking around. I'm like, "Okay, I'm at a high school. Where would you like me to complete this delivery?"
I would have taken it to the woods and dropped it off and took a picture.
What? okay, I'll set it on the sidewalk.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, set on the sidewalk. We'll say you complete this delivery. I did not even get to complete the delivery. They completed the delivery for me from their side.
That's crazy.
Okay. So I set it down there. Now, I thought after a certain time, they cut that phone number off. This girl calls me an hour and a half later. Won't know where her food is.
So what address did she put the address in wrong? Did Papa John's put the address in wrong? Because I know Papa John's will dispatch when they don't, you know, they'll dispatch them from their own website ordering and use DoorDash. So it could have been a Papa John's issue.
And that's what happened. She ordered it from Papa John's. Papa John's sent it to us. So I went to the address that was on DoorDash. And when I told her exactly the address that I had. She said, well, that's not my address. I'm like, well, I figured that out when I came to a patch of woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it took like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So I don't know how she was calling me back an hour and a half later, but I told her, I said, look, here's the deal. I said, I looked for you, I called you, you didn't answer. DoorDash called you, you didn't answer. They told me I had to complete the order, so I'll set your food on the sidewalk in front of the high school. I don't know how close you are to that. I don't know if it's still there or not. But that's what they told me to do. So that's what I did.
No, I think I had a similar situation with Papa John's. I think what happened is Papa John's dispatched it. They put the wrong address in. It happened to me. It took me to a park. And I was like, no, this ain't right. And I was actually about half a mile down the street is where the hotel was. And I wound up getting it to the customer. But I think that was probably a Papa John's issue as far as dispatching it. They had the wrong address information.
Yeah, it's crazy that we care more than DoorDash.
DoorDash. Once DoorDash gets the order in the system and it gets dispatched, that's it. They got their money. They got their percentage. That's where the caring ends, I think, in my opinion. But you know,
when I saw that, I was like, I've got to call Pedro and tell him.
No, that's crazy. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, my friend, and I look forward to you calling back another time. And I appreciate you calling in tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a good one, Tommy. All right, we are over 3 hours. We're going to end it. Listen, before we do that, I want to say I appreciate everybody that's come in here. For those of you that come, you guys are awesome. I appreciate the support. Don't forget, we're doing that giveaway. Go to the 10K giveaway video I had posted 2 days ago. Leave a comment. You'll be entered in. I'm picking 5 winners. I'm giving them $100 a piece. And I will do that live on whenever we hit 10K subs. We'll do it on a Sunday show. I'll announce the winners then, give people a week or so to say, yeah, that's me. You know, we'll facilitate getting you that $100. I want to show the community some love and support and give it back because you guys are giving me so much. And to be quite frank, I make money on YouTube. It's not a bunch of money, but it's good money. And I want to be able to give some back because you guys have been very kind to me in so many ways. So if I can make somebody's day a little bit brighter, we're going to do that 5 times. So you guys are fantastic. Don't forget, always have a why as you're doing this gig work. Have a why, have a why. Be building towards something. I recommend that. Bet on you, Secos, one day at a time. I'll see you guys next time.